Morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone, wherever you're at the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. Today, we are going to be bringing you the Seattle Mariners and the Cincinnati Reds, as this game is going to be the getaway game in the series between these two ball clubs. Brady Singer is just completing his warm-up tosses. We'll get you through the Mariner lineup here quickly, as we are just about ready to get underway. It'll be Julio Rodriguez leading off in center field. Hitting second is the DH, Jorge Polanco. Batting third is the catcher, Cal Raleigh. And the cleanup spot is the left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth in right field is Luke Raley. Batting sixth and playing first base today is Rowdy Tellez. We got Dylan Moore at second base. He is batting seventh. Miles Mastroboni is batting eighth. He is at third base. And the shortstop is J.P. Crawford. Our friend Jason Stuff is in the house. He says, yeah, you've got some M's action early. And so here we go as this one is about to get underway. The first pitch from Brady Singer is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. It is a 12:40 local time start in the Eastern time zone. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball in on the fists. And Rodriguez fouls that one away, and the count is 0-2. Jason says we have two guys who can hit right now. He swears maybe. I'm not even so sure about that. Here comes the 0-2 offering from Singer, and it's a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Rodriguez hitting 188 on the season, 3 homers and 8 RBIs as he swings through a cutter, and that is going to set him down on strikes for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter in Jorge Polanco. Julio Rodriguez and much of the other Mariners, the big thing is to cut down on the strikeouts. Last year, the Mariners led all of baseball. They had over 1,600 strikeouts. There's a first pitch fastball swung on. This ball is lined into deep right field. Drifting back on it and making the catch at the edge of the warning track is Jake Fraley. And so that is 2 quick outs here for the Mariners. It's going to leave all up to the catcher, Cal Raleigh. Well, for Raleigh, he's hitting .217 on the season. He's got 7 homers and 10 runs batted in. Jason says, warning track power. You know, a little surprising, not just looking at the Mariners stats, but looking at the Reds stats as well, as the first pitch fastball swung on it has popped up down the third base line, but it's just going to drift into the seats. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati is a great hitter's park, and you look at the Reds numbers, and they're really, really struggling as well. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count is 1-1, at least today's lineup. There's not too many that are producing at a high rate in terms of batting average. Even on base percentage is a little bit dicey. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses up to Raleigh, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Raleigh with 7 home runs here in the early going, just surpassed the 100 home runs in his career. Fan favorite in Seattle, Cal Raleigh. As the right-hander Singer gets his sign and delivers, it is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 2-2. And a pretty much steady, everyday player is Raleigh in the lineup for the Mariners. Not just their backstop, but a leader in many ways. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes full to Raleigh. When you watch Brady Singer pitch, he is really, really fast in his lower half. It is very interesting. You see different windups and different deliveries. He works extremely quickly. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. So Raleigh's going to get himself aboard with a 2-out walk, and that is going to bring up the left fielder in Randy Arozarena. Well, for Arozarena, he's hitting a .194 to start the year. He's got 3 homers and 11 runs batted in. He's another one in that category where you've got to start picking up the pace offensively. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. And I don't know if it's because when players arrive in Seattle, their bats dry up. It's not the easiest park to hit in. I think if you're a free agent bat, you would really want to look at, is it worth going there? It's going to affect your numbers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. So 1 strike. Right-hander gets his sign from the catcher. Austin wins, and the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. It's now 1-2. Defensively for the Reds from left to right, Blake Dunn is in left. The center fielder is Friedel. In right field, it is Fraley. As that fastball, as we get the replay, had caught the inside corner. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball. Swung on and missed, and that is going to do it for Arozarena. He's gone for the third out of the inning. We'll get you the rest of the lineup defensively for the Reds when we come back in the top half of the second inning. But here at the end of a half inning, Mariners, no runs, no hits, no errors. They did leave a runner aboard, and we are now moving to the bottom half of inning number 1. Your score is the Mariners 0, and the Reds coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after this timeout.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order to come to bat here for the Reds in their half of the first inning. TJ Friedel, Santiago Espinal, and Ellie De La Cruz. We didn't give the Reds lineup to begin the ball game. It'll be Friedel, Espinal, De La Cruz, as we mentioned. It'll be Austin Hayes, Gavin Lux, and Jamar Candelario in the middle part of the lineup, with Blake Dunn, Jake Fraley, and Austin Wins in the bottom third, all to face Emerson Hancock. Emerson Hancock off to a difficult start this year. In fact, after his first start, he got sent down. It was against the Detroit Tigers on March 31st. There's a fastball that misses outside for a ball. Hancock did not even make it out of the first inning against the Tigers. He'd worked 2/3 of an innings, allowing 7 hits and 6 runs, all earned. There's a fastball swung on it, just popped up on the left side of the infield. Coming over underneath it is J.P. Crawford, and he's there to make the catch. And Friedel is retired for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and then it's going to bring up Santiago Espinal to the plate. Just to finish off on Hancock, after that ball game, got an express bus pass to Tacoma, and he had to go down and be able to work something out as he is getting recalled. It was originally supposed to be Brian Wu on the mound today, as the right-hander Hancock delivers a fastball that misses down and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Espinal. So obviously the former number 1 pick getting a chance to work some things out before the recall. Right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lined right to the glove of the shortstop, Crawford. He's a busy man here in the first inning, and he's going to be out for out number 2. That is going to leave it all up for Ellie De La Cruz. So 2 quick outs here for the Reds. Mariners defensively from left to right field. Randy Arozarena is in left. Rodriguez is in center. And in right field, it is Raleigh. Around the horn, it is Tellez at first. The second baseman is Moore. The shortstop, Crawford. And the third baseman is Mastroboni, with Hancock and Rowley as the battery. And that breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-0. So worrying sign early on with Hancock. The first pitch he has thrown to each of the First 3 batters he has faced has been a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes. He delivers again, does Hancock, and he bounces this one up to the plate, and the count goes to 2-0 on De La Cruz. De La Cruz is hitting .229 in the early going, 3 homers and 18 runs driven in. He does have himself 4 stolen bases. As Hancock works to the set position, now delivers. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-1. Not a lot of fans in the stands here on the getaway day in Cincinnati. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that comes way inside and backs De La Cruz off the plate. The count now goes to 3-1. Mariners went quietly in their half of the first. Reds have 2 quick outs here, and it's a 3-1 count on De La Cruz. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, grounded up the middle. Crawford dives to his left, but unable to make the play. And De La Cruz is going to get himself an infield single. And so he is aboard with 2 gone, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter in Austin Hayes. So Austin Hayes, he's hitting .375 since his return from the injured list. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs. He'll be an important bat for the Reds. Hayes, the offseason free agent acquisition. Most of his career with the Baltimore Orioles, but was traded to the Philadelphia Phillies last year as there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Hayes. So 4 first pitches and 4 balls from Hancock. Hayes taps his cleats, gets back in again, ready to go. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. Hayes, one of the few men left standing that do not hit with batting gloves. And even on a day like today where it is sunny, but it's a bit brisk. No gloves for Hayes. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. There is a changeup that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-1. Got to keep your eye on De La Cruz here. This could be an opportunity for him to try to get himself into scoring position. And again, the Mariners also concerned with that as they throw over to first base, does Hancock, and diving back easily is the runner. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Hayes. Runner at first, De La Cruz, 2 gone. Here comes the pitch from Hancock. Kicks and delivers. Fastball misses way outside. It's now 3-1. And as I mentioned before, the concern will be here is, can Hancock throw enough strikes? When I saw him pitch in Seattle, I have to say I was not overly impressed in the live version. I saw him warm up, saw him throw. There's a fastball that is swung on. It is lifted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble. Back on the track, looking up, and this one's gone. A 2-run homer for Austin Hayes as he's able to go the other way. And just like that, the Reds have taken a 2-0 lead over the Mariners. Good piece of hitting by Hayes. He stayed inside the ball and went the other way with it. And that is what's going to kill you all the time. You fall behind in the count. You get the hitters into good hitting counts. And the next thing you know, you find yourself at a deficit. And that is where the Mariners find themselves right now, down 2-0. That's going to bring up the second baseman in Gavin Lux. Well, for Lux, he's hitting .276 in the early going. No homers and 7 RBIs. He is settling in with the Reds. He's played some infield. He's played some in the outfield. He's DH'd. He's done everything so far that they've asked through the spring and into the regular season. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Hancock. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. Grounded softly to short. Crawford fields it on the run. He throws to first. That's going to do it. Lux is going to go in the books on the ground out 6-3. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it. Ellie De La Cruz with a 2-out single and Austin Hayes with a 2-run homer have got the Reds out in front. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're now through 1 complete. Your score is the Mariners trailing the Reds 2-0. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this, or maybe after that.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of inning number 2. And coming to bat for the Mariners will be Luke Raley, Rowdy Tellez, and Dylan Moore. Mariners drew a walk in the first inning. Reds had 2 hits, a single by Dela Cruz and a home run by Hayes, and that's got them out in front 2-0. And the first pitch delivered from Singer, fastball that misses inside to Rowley, and the count is 1-0. Rowley batting 149 on the year, homer and 5 runs batted in. Takes a breaking ball on the inside corner, and the count now goes to 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Singer wastes very little time, gets the ball, and goes quickly. And the pitch on the way is another fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Again, the right-hander Roxanne delivers. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-1. Started to give the defensive alignment for the Reds. We'll do that here in this inning as we got caught up in the first. Fastball swung on and lifted down the left field line, giving chase and making the catch as he runs into foul territory is the left fielder, Blake Dunn. Rowley is going to be gone for the first out of the inning, so 1 up and 1 away. It's going to bring up the first baseman and Rowdy Tellez. Defensively today for the Reds, from left to right field, Blake Dunn is in left. The center fielder is TJ Friedel. Right fielder is Jake Fraley. Around the horn from first to third, Candelario at first. Lux is at second. The shortstop is Dela Cruz with the third baseman, Espinal. As that breaking ball misses down and away to Tellez. And the battery is of Singer and Wins. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it is a fastball that misses upstairs. The count's 2-0 to Tellez. Tellez off to a tough start. He's batting .088, homer and 4 RBIs. He had won the first base battle coming out of spring training as he takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike. The count is 2-1. I wonder how long a leash that the Mariners will have with him in this type of production before they start looking in another direction. As the 2-1 is on the way, there's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 2-2. I've always kind of liked Rowdy Tellez. Liked them in Toronto, liked them in Pittsburgh, and I think he had a tour in Milwaukee as well in the in-between. As the 2-2 is on the way, fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. It's off the wall. Rounding first is Tellez, and he's going to be held to a long single. Nice job there by the right fielder, Jake Fraley, to play it off the wall, holding Tellez to that single as he throws the 2-hopper into second base on the line. So from one current Mariner to a former Mariner, Fraley does a pretty good job out there in the outfield of taking it right off the wall cleanly. Well, that's going to bring Dylan Moore to the plate. Our friend Jason Stuff, who was here, he says that earlier on they don't have too many players that are hitting. Well, this is one of them. As Moore takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. Moore hitting .325 in the early going with 4 homers and 6 RBIs. Getting the start at second base today. Pitch on the way, fastball misses down and away, and the count goes even at 1-1. I saw Moore earlier this year playing some third base for the M's. He is now slotted in over at second. Ryan Bliss was not exactly hitting the cover off the ball. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up into shallow left field. Moving back underneath it is Dela Cruz, and he's going to make the catch. That's going to retire Moore for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and that's going to bring Miles Mastrobuoni to the plate. Well, for Mastrobuoni, he has been productive in his early stages here with the Mariners. He's hitting .304. He doesn't have any homers or any runs batted in, getting the 8th spot today and the nod at third base. First pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Brady Singer, if he's going to be effective, has to keep getting ahead in the count as he is, unlike his counterpart Hancock, who is to throw a first pitch strike. Well, that's not totally true. I got Gavin Lux to ground out on the last at bat, so he was 1 for 5 in the first inning. As that pitch is fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Mastrobuoni. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander Singer holds to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-2. Sometimes I wonder, these early games on the East Coast, or for that matter, anywhere, if it's worth it sometimes to Major League Baseball. Just the lack of fans in the stands. Fastball misses up. It's now 2-2. I know it's a getaway day. It works for the travel for the teams. Certainly both of these clubs, if they have to get onto the road. As the 2-2 pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up down the left field line. Giving chase is Dela Cruz, coming in, and is going to be a foul ball as it goes off the glove of Blake Dunn. He drops it in foul territory. I'll have to see if they rule that as an error or not. He had to come a long way, not necessarily the most ordinary effort. And the ball just caught him off the thumb of the glove. He's unable to hang on, and it's going to give extra life here to Mastrobuoni. But those are the type of plays that need to be made, especially if you want to keep your pitch counts down. See if the scorers will tag the left fielder done with an error on that, even though it was a foul ball. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball misses inside. The count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rowdy Tellez will be on the move once Brady Singer delivers. Waggling the bat is Mastrobuoni. The right-hander checks the runner over at first, and he works to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down. It's going to be ball 4. And that is going to allow Mastrobuoni to reach on a walk. It's going to advance Rowdy Tellez to second, and it's going to bring J.P. Crawford to the plate. And those could be backbreakers, especially for the pitchers. If you ratchet the pitch count up, you think, how many more pitches is he going to throw this inning? If that was the 3rd out. So runners at first and second. Tellez at second, Mastrobuoni at first, and the first pitch breaking ball drops in for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to J.P. Crawford. Crawford hitting .204 in the early going. No homers and a couple RBIs. I think the Mariners will take always whatever they can get offensively from Crawford. His defense is indispensable as he takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and now the count goes to 0-2. Kaiser says, how many outs? There's 2 gone here with 2 aboard. Singer holds to the set. He checks the runner, now delivers. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count is 1-2. And it should have been 3 outs if Blake Dunn can catch the fly ball in foul territory down the left field line. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses inside. They try to throw backdoor on Tellez, and he is diving back safely. Count is 2-2 to Crawford. Dela Cruz playing with him a little bit down there, wanting to lift his hand off the bag. Kaiser says, busy at work. That's great. And we're glad we can help you out. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's now 3-2 to Crawford. So the runners are going to be on the move. Tellez at second, runner Mastrobuoni at first. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Crawford as Singer gets the sign from his catcher Wins, kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, popped up on the infield. It's playable underneath it. The wind is taking it for a ride, and it's going to drop in foul territory for a foul ball. The catcher, Austin Wins, never turned his back to the infield, started to run around and chase it. Santiago Espinal was coming in from third. The ball ends up landing in foul territory, so it gives J.P. Crawford yet another second life. Both Wins and Espinal looking at each other. There'll be no error on the play. But neither one of them played that like major league players. And Brady Singer, for the second time in the inning here, his defense has let him down. And if you're the Mariners at this particular point, this is where you got to make them pay. So right now, the 6 pitches to Crawford, the 3 extra pitches to Masterboni, and add another one. There's the breaking ball swung on and fouled away. He's thrown 10 extra pitches this inning that he could have been out of the inning on. And Gracie Lynn says she's got the Reds winning this one 6-2. Not if they keep playing defense like they are here in the second inning. We should be out of the inning by now. So here comes the right-hander Singer, who holds set at the belt and now delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away over by the Reds dugout. The count remains at 3-2 to Crawford. We do welcome everybody into the stream today. If you are new here, we welcome you. Our goal this year was to do more major league games, and that is what we are doing. We got another one lined up for tomorrow, Diamondbacks and Cubs. Fastball swung on, drilled into straightaway center field, drifting back onto the warning track and making the catch is Friedel. Oh, Crawford sent it right to the deepest part of the ballpark. And unfortunately for the Mariners, that is going to be out number 3. And that will do it here in the second. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 1.5. It is the Reds 2 and the Mariners no score. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for checking in on some afternoon baseball or morning baseball if you are on the left coast. We'll be right back after this. Your score is 2-0 for the Reds as we're moving to the bottom of the second inning. Our forte is late night baseball with the NPB. Be sure to check it out. And don't forget, join our Facebook group for all of the latest updates. We'll be right back after this. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to come to bat for the Reds. That means Jmar Candelario, Blake Dunn, and Jake Fraley to face the right-hander Emerson Hancock here in inning number 2. The first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Hancock, 15 pitches in the first inning. As we said, the first 4 batters to start the game, he fell behind on it, so that's a big deal. The first pitch strike, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Candelario. Mixed on Hancock. I think there's a place for him in the big leagues. I just don't know if it's going to be that as a starter. Has a very low 3/4 arm action. As that fastball misses down and away, count is 1-2 to the point where I'm not sure that his arm action will sustain himself as a starter for a lengthy career. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. The Mariners have changed up a little bit. George Kirby was slated to come back at the end of the month, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It looks like he's going to be pushed further ahead here or further behind in his comeback. There's a fastball swung on, is ripped into right field. It's hooking, and it is just going to land foul down the right field line. It's going to keep the count at 1-2 on Candelario. Just got the barrel head out just a bit. So 1-2 to Candelario as Hancock gets himself a new baseball and he's ready to go back to work. Candelario struggling this year, hitting only $125 with a homer and 7 RBIs as he swings and fouls that one away, and the count remains at 1-2. But he is battling Hancock here to start the second. Right-hander ready to go again as he kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and another one fouled away. Count remains at 1-2 to Candelario. Candelario, when he was with the Tigers a few years ago, had an injured wrist. It was a hamate injury. For those of you who don't know what that is, the hamate bone is like a little hook in your wrist. And sometimes when players come back from that type of injury and the surgery to repair it, fastball misses inside, the power never comes back or potentially never comes back. Well, Candelario is a switch hitter, so it really would impact the top hand more in his swing. As he pitches on the way, it's a fastball swung through and missed. Candelario's down on strikes. He's out for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the left fielder in Blake Dunn. Just finish off on those hamate bones. Whenever you see that as a fracture, it always makes you cringe. And there were different reasons sometimes why. Sometimes they say the vibration of the bat it'll fracture it, but they also have noted when players will kind of hang their pinky finger off the end of the bat, sometimes those players have had that as an impact as the first pitch is taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Blake Dunn. Dunn batting 160, homer, and 3 RBIs. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball swung on, it's tapped softly back to Hancock. The underhand flips it to Tellez, covering. That's going to go down as a ground out 1-3 for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the right fielder, Jake Fraley. Well, for Fraley, seems to have found a home in Cincinnati. He was a one-time Seattle Mariner. He's batting $190, no homers and 1 RBI. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Hancock. And he pitches a fastball that misses outside for ball 1. Fraley getting the nod in right field. Made a beautiful play there. Old Rowdy Tellez to a long single. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1. Never did give the umpire introductions for today's game. It's Alex McKay behind the plate. Alan Porter's at first. Jim Wolf is at second with Chris Siegel, the third base umpire, as that fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-2 to Fraley. Temperature at game time was 62 Fahrenheit. Yes, cloud in the area. As the pitch is a fastball that misses down and it squirts away from the catcher Raleigh. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Fraley. Right-hander Hancock gets the sign from Raleigh. He's ready to go again. Looks like a bit of a late arriving crowd in Cincinnati for this one. As there's a fastball that swung on, its grounded foul just past the bag at first base, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We noted in the first inning there were lots of empty seats. Probably the orders to the television crew is make sure you keep the camera angles low. If you can get the first 3 or 4 rows, will look like it's a full house. Fastball taken for a called third strike. Fraley stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 2. That is going to be the third out of the inning. The Reds go down in order. Hancock strikes out 2 of the 3. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now through 2 complete. Your score is the Reds 2, the Mariners no score. My friend Gracie Lynn's rubbing it in. She says 74 in Birmingham, Alabama, 23 if you are north of the border. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat for the Mariners. The top of the order: Julio Rodriguez, Jorge Polanco, and Cal Raleigh. So that is 1, 2, and 3. Friend Gracie Lynn says she's missing out too. It's 83 at her house in Costa Rica. As there is a first pitch fastball swung on. It is lifted into left field. Coming underneath it is Dunn, and he's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Rodriguez with one pitch. There is one away here in the third inning. That is going to bring up the designated hitter in Jorge Polanco. 83 at Costa Rica, and according to the home security camera. There you go. Well, that brings Polanco to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. He has flown to right his only time up. He squares to bunt, and he takes a breaking ball on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Singer, 44 pitches through the first 2 innings. That's probably not going to keep him around the game long time today. That worked great. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike to Polanco. Gracie Lynn said, how was the Eugene-Vancouver game last night? It was actually a pretty good ball game. Breaking ball misses inside. Emeralds only had 2 hits. Canadians, I think, had about 5. There was a fastball taken for a called strike. Count goes to 2-2. Z-Play says, any more card breaks in the future? We've actually moved our stuff over to Last Raps Baseball cards. So we've been doing some stuff over there. Not a lot, but we have been. And so the answer to that would be yes. As that pitch is swung on and fouled away. The count is 2-2 to Polanco. Unless we are in Taiwan. When we're in Taiwan this year, we might do some of the other stuff. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike. Polanco doesn't quite like that, and he lets Alex McKay know. They're standing there having a little discussion. But he is down on strikes looking for the second out of the inning. Probably asks him if that's as low as he goes. But I have to say, I don't think that was anything really too egregious on that last pitch. So 2 gone. It brings up Cal Raleigh to the plate. Yeah, the first pitch is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Raleigh. Raleigh drew a walk in the first inning, but he was stranded on base as the Mariners weren't able to get anything further from their offense in inning number 1. Raleigh batting from the left side. Left-handed hitting catchers are a premium in Major League Baseball. There's not enough of them. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Raleigh. And I was going to say switch hitting catchers when I think of like Mickey Tettleton back in the day. They're also valuable as well. And Raleigh, who swings from both sides of the plate, did homer from both sides. There is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Raleigh's in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it. Brady Singer has now recorded 4 strikeouts in this one as he is able to retire the Mariners in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom half of inning number 3. It is the Mariners trailing the Reds 2-0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Here is our friend Steve.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 3 as we're a little behind on our ticker. We're trying to multitask here today as we are trying to get ourselves caught up on some stuff. But the score is 2-0 for the Reds as they are out in front on a 2-run homer off the bat of Austin Hayes here against Seattle today. And the starter Emerson Hancock ready to go back to work. So bottom of the 3rd inning, 2-0 for the Reds as we get that ticker updated for you. First pitch from Hancock is a fastball that misses inside to Wins. Count is 1-0. This is the first at bat today for Wins. Wins batting .308 in the early going. He's got 1 homer and 3 RBIs as he swings and fouls that one away, and the count goes even at 1-1. Both Austin Wins and Trevino, the other catcher, have done very well this year for the Reds. Our friend Redbeard Brink says, "Let's go Reds." I think you're biased there, Jimmy. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 1-2. One thing I didn't check in on last night, I was mentioning to our friend Redbeard Brinks yesterday. I got a chance to talk to him after the Emeralds game, and I was saying that I saw there was a bench clearing incident between the Nationals and the Pirates. I have to go back and take a look. I think Andrew McCutcheon was at the plate, and there was some bad blood between the two teams. A little surprising because, not much is expected of those two ball clubs. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line, and it's going to slice into the seats. Count remains at 1-2. Redbeard says, Singer's looking sharp so far. Well, Singer would probably have about 10 pitches less if the Reds could catch pop-ups and foul balls. And I'm not so sure Brady Singer is going to be around in this game very long at the rate that his pitch count is ratcheting up unless he gets himself a couple of quick more innings. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Wins. Also interested to see how Hancock is going to manage the second time through the order. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wins. Right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. Wins is in the books. That's the 3rd strikeout recorded by Hancock. So Wins in the books for out number 1. That brings up the top of the order in TJ Friedl. Well, for Friedl, he's 0 for 1 today. He has popped to the shortstop to begin the ball game as the first pitch on the way from Hancock. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Have to say, though, I've been a little bit critical of Hancock in the early going, but he has settled down. He has thrown 39 pitches, 26 now for strikes. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. A little disconcerting to begin the ball game as he was throwing a lot of first pitch balls for strikes. Pitch on the way, fastball just misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-1. Tomorrow we're going to add to our schedule, or we have to our schedule, is the Diamondbacks and the Cubs. Hopefully you can make it in for that. There's a breaking ball swung on and chopped foul over on the first base side, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. And then after we do that one, it'll be some Japanese baseball tomorrow night. We're just looking over our schedule the next 2 nights. Should squeeze in some action from the NPB. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes full to Friedel. Possibly doing the Bay Stars and the Dragons, although we may stay in the Pacific, as there's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into right center field. Moving over to his left and making the catch is Julio Rodriguez. That is going to retire Friedel for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away. It's going to leave it all up to the third baseman in Santiago Espinal. And speaking of shoddy defense, Espinal, who's usually pretty reliable defensively, he had let that foul ball fall between him and the catcher Austin Wins in foul territory. Breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-0. Gracie Lynn says should consider fitting in one of these other 3. Can't do it tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's going to be the early game only, and then it'll be the late game in the NPB as that pitch misses inside. The count is 2-0. If I do the Dragons and the Bay Stars, that'll be a 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern game. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 2-1. If I do the Buffaloes and whoever they're playing, it goes off at 10 Pacific. Just have to take a look and see what's going to work best in the schedule. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball misses down and away. The count now goes to 3-1. May do the game on Saturday night and then make the midnight drive down to Seattle. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded over to short. Crawford fields it. He juggles it, getting out of his glove, still able to get a hold of the ball, fires to first. And Espinal is going to be out on a ground out 6-3. Crawford did good to stay with it. He almost lost the handle on it. And that is going to do it here for the Reds in their half of the third. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Third of the game is in the books. It is the Reds 2 and the Mariners no score. Stick around, everybody. Our friend Gracie Lynn said 6-2. She's predicting a Red victory. We'll find that out when we get back in a bit. Here is more of our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game and let him know that we sent you.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Check him out after the game. We'll be back in 30. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Mariners. That means Arizarena, Raleigh, and Tellez, as they're going to be facing Brady Singer here in the top half of inning number 4. Singer able to get a pretty effective 1-2-3 inning in the third there, as the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away to Arizarena. 54 pitches for the right-hander through 3. Always the rule of thumb is 15 pitches per inning, so he's working at a little bit bigger rate as there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. Certainly the drop balls added to his count as there is a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 2-1. Always frustrating to see the miscommunication at this particular level. Fastball is a check swing fouled away, and the count now goes even to Arozarena. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, mind you, the lineup today, there's a lot of players that are not necessarily regulars in the lineup. As there's a pitch that misses down and away, and the count goes full to Arozarena. I know we have a pitch clock on these games, but both of these starters probably don't even look at it. They move real quick. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. Arozarena is going to get himself a leadoff walk here to start the 4th. And that is going to bring up the right fielder in Luke Raley. I was just talking about it this morning. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and they were saying that the walks will kill you. And especially the leadoff walks, they can come back to haunt you. There's a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Singer again working to the set. And checks the runner and delivers. There's a breaking ball waved out and missed. Count now goes to 0-2 on Raleigh. Arozarena establishes his lead. You got to keep your eye on him. He can run a little bit. Pitch on the way. There's a fastball that just misses up. That goes to 1-2 on Raleigh. Singer wasting no time, ready to go again. Now he fires over to first, and diving back in time as Arozarena barely got back. Fingertips made it to the bag. So again, the right-hander working himself to the set and delivers. Fastball just misses in. I could see both of these teams in some regards simmering a little bit with this home plate umpire. I'm not sure if consistency right now out of Alex McKay is there, but it has been both ways. There's a breaking ball that swung on, is lifted into deep right field. This ball is going to be trouble, and this ball is going to be gone. Words out of my mouth. The walk to begin the inning to Randy Arozarena, and now a 2-run shot off the bat. Luke Raley has even the score here. And the Mariners have tied it up here. It is now 2-2 in the top of the 4th inning. So Raley, he needed that. That's his 2nd home run of the year. And the Mariners have drawn it all square here at 2-2. So our friend Gracie Lynn, who was predicting the 6-2 game, Mariners are going to have to put their bats in the freezer the rest of the way if that's going to happen. That is going to bring up the first baseman in Rowdy Tellez. As Tellez fouls that first pitch away, the count is quickly 0-1. Tellez 1 for 1 today. Raised his season average up to $114. Fastball misses upstairs. The count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Tellez batting from the right side here against the right-hander Singer. He delivers a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. And the right-hander rocks and delivers. Fastball that misses up. Count 3-1 now to Tellez. Well, Singer has struggled a little bit, and as I mentioned, probably with the extra pitches, as that fastball swung on and fouled away, count is 3-2. Probably not going to be here long. If he gets through the 5th inning, it's probably realistic. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And then they probably look to go to the pen, and there'll be a battle of the bullpens on this day. Fastball swung on, popped up into left center field. Moving over underneath it is Blake Dunn, and he's there to make the catch. He's going to retire Tellez for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here, and it's going to bring up the second baseman in Dylan Moore. Gracie Lynn says the Mariners not being able to hit isn't that far-fetched. Yeah, the Mariners are definitely struggling at the plate. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I was looking, even though we're tossing the Mariners under the bus a little bit here, the Reds, very similar. They got a great hitter's ballpark down there, and their numbers for hitter's ballpark is not that great. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's going to be looped softly into left center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Moore is going to reach on a one-out single, and that's going to bring up the third baseman and Miles Mastrobuoni. I know the Mariner fan base definitely upset because they haven't really been able to replace the bats. I mean, you think Eugenio Suarez, when he is gone, third base has been a problem. Second base has been a bit of a black hole with the bat. JP Crawford's production offensively has lagged, although his defense is argued second to none. As that pitch misses down. John K says 2-2. Yeah, it is. If you've been around us, John, we update at the end of the half innings. As they throw over to first base and diving back in time is the base runner, Dylan Moore. But thanks for the update. Our production staff here is of one, so we take our time to do that in between the innings. There's a fastball that misses up. Count goes to 1-1 to Mastrobuoni. Reds got on the board in the first inning on a 2-run homer off the bat of Austin Hayes. Mariners have responded here with 2 of their own on a 2-run shot by Luke Raley. 2-2 is the scoreline. There's a fastball swung on. It's hammered foul off the tarp down the right field line, and the count is 1-2. Brady Singer's big inning, that 29-pitch second inning when the defense forgot how to catch balls for him. That can take the sting out of the tail of the pitcher. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander works set, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on, tap foul over on the first base side, and the count remains at 1-2. Riley Cooper says, first MLB game he's ever listened to. Seems fun. Yeah, we have a pretty good chat in here. People like kicking in. Sit back, relax, pull up beverage, put your feet up if you're at work. Tell the boss you're taking a break. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses outside. There goes the runner down to second. The throw is not in time as Dylan Moore is going to pick himself up his 4th stolen base of the year. He gets in there safely. We're going to see if the Reds are going to take a look at that one, and I don't think it would be worth a challenge. We're getting a replay of it, and no, I think he's in there. We'll see what Terry Francona decides. Certainly, I don't think there's enough to overturn the ruling. In the old days, they would say that the tag was high. He slapped him in the backside. Normally, if the throw was a bit closer up by the bag, and no challenge on that play. So here comes the 2-2. Breaking ball, another one swung on, and another one grounded foul down the first base line. Count remains at 2-2 to Mastrobuoni. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Singer works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. It's a fastball taken for a called third strike. I'm not sure what Mastrobuoni was looking at, but that looked like it was a center cut fastball right down the middle. And he's gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to JP Crawford. And that right there would drive the Mariner fan base insane. You've got a 2-2 fastball right down the chute. It looked like Singer missed his pitch. I think he wanted to come inside based on the setup of his catcher, but got a lot of the plate. There's a first pitch fastball to Crawford that misses outside. The count is 1-0. Crawford is 0 for 1 today. Flew out to deep center field his first time up. Riley says, did you play years ago? Fastball swung on, and this is going to be lifted into left center field. Camping out underneath it and making the catch is the left fielder, Dunn, and that is going to do it here for Crawford. He's gone for the third out of the inning. 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom half of inning number 4. It is 2-2 Reds and Mariners We'll be back in just a little bit. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us here today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Here is our friend Eric.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. We are moving to the bottom half of inning number 4. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Ellie De La Cruz, Austin Hayes, and Gavin Lux to come to bat here in inning number 4. Riley Cooper says that he's got Emerson Hancock on the under 3.5. Is he cooked? I would say that the fork is out, and they're checking to see if the meat is ready. He needs one more strikeout to exceed that, so I'm not sure what they're going to have him on for a pitch count, but I say you're in trouble. Breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0 to Ellie De La Cruz. De La Cruz singled his first time up. He was brought home on the 2-run shot off the bat of Austin Hayes. As there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to De La Cruz. De La Cruz with that knock back in inning number 1 has raised his season average up to 239. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That's going to be a base hit. And so De La Cruz aboard with a leadoff single here to start the 4th. That'll bring up the aforementioned Austin Hayes. Well, for Hayes, he missed quite a bit of time as he was on the injured list to begin the year, but he is making his presence felt in Cincinnati. A 2-run shot here in the first inning. It's the second of the early going. He's 4 for 9 on the campaign now as he takes a fastball down and in for a ball. The count is 1-0. Hayes spent a lot of time with the Baltimore Orioles. That was his original ball club. Was with Phillies last year, but didn't really give the Phillies a lot of production. But he was also hurt a little bit, or playing through some injuries as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is De La Cruz. Waggling the bat here is Hayes as the right-hander works himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander against the right-hander. Hancock gets his sign from his catcher Raleigh, and he works to the set. Here's the 1-1. Fastball swung on, grounded over to third. They go to second for 1, back to first. It's in time. Oh, what a pick there by Rowdy Tellez. That's going to go into the books as a 5-4-3 double play. A really good turn there by the Mariner infield. And that's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Gavin Lux. I have to say, nice job there by Tellez, really staying low in his body, being able to read the hop. So the right-hander delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Lux batting .276 entering the game. His average tumbled a few points. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. Riley says, what are the chances of Hancock being the last inning? Not very good. Not sure what his pitch count or what the team would have him on. He's at 57 right now. I would think he's probably going to go to at least 80. Fastball swung on, lifted into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. As Rodriguez moving to his left cuts it off. That's a 2-out single here for Lux, and that's going to bring up the first baseman in Jmar Candelario. I would say at this rate, you'd probably see Hancock for 6. I guess what we'll see with Singer will dictate what he does in the 5th inning. So Candelario 0 for 1 today. He struck out his first time up. It's actually a quality at bat. He took Singer to 9 pitches. Or say Hancock to 9 pitches. Singer, of course, is going for the Cincinnati ball club. Candelario batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Hancock. He's got a slightly open stance. And the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Candelario, I'd almost prefer him, maybe from what I've seen, to stay on the left side full time, but gets a chance to play every day against the lefties because he does swing it from the right side as that fastball is swung through and missed, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. This is where our friend Riley starts biting his nails. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside. The count is 1-2. There are a lot of players that are in the Reds lineup who are strikeout candidates, much like the players in the Mariners lineup. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on and another one fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Candelario. As Hancock gets the new baseball ready to go again. And instead he throws over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner Lux. Lux does not have a stolen base this year. He does move pretty good. Again, the right-hander works himself set, kicks and fires. There's a fastball that swung on, has popped up in foul territory toward the third base dugout, but that is just going to drift into the seats. Keeps the count at 1-2 on Candelario. Afternoon baseball from Cincinnati. Mariners and Reds locked at 2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Mariners, 2-4-0 for the Reds. As the right-hander Hancock delivers, there's a fastball swung on and missed. Riley, there's your answer. It is the over 3.5. Candelario's in the books for the second time today via the strikeout. That's out number 3, and that's going to do it here for the Reds in their half of the 4th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. Your score is we are now through 4, Mariners 2, Reds 2. Top of the 5th is just around the corner. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That's right, everybody. Got to have an ace in the hole. That is our friend Matt Hollis. Be sure to check him out after the game. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for popping in. It is 2-2 Reds and Mariners when we return right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order coming up for the Mariners here in inning number 5. Julio Rodriguez, Jorge Polanco, and Cal Raleigh to get things going here against the right-hander Brady Singer. Singer at 83 pitches as he delivers a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Rodriguez. Rodriguez today is 0 for 2. He has struck out and flown to left. As the right-hander Singer kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Afternoon baseball from Cincinnati. As the right-hander works himself to the set, Singer delivers. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. Great American Ballpark. If you've never been there, it's a nice venue. As we mentioned, it's a hitter's park, but you'd never know it looking at the statistics of the Cincinnati offense. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2. They have struggled mightily this year. There are some bright spots, though, as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Rodriguez. Not sure what happened over there. We had J-Rod at the plate, and we had Polanco now at the dish. Got 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. I don't know what happened to J-Rod. I think J-Rod had that single into left center field. I have to go back and do a little bit of a take on this piece here. I might have missed something in that there. Sometimes trying to keep up and do multitasking, I lose track of myself. There's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This is grounded through the 4-hole. It's into right field, and that's going to be a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third is Rodriguez. The throw is offline, almost gets away from the third baseman, Espinal. And that's going to allow the runner, Polanco, to get into second base. Going to have to see how they're going to score that. Is that going to be a single, or is that going to be a double or a single and a throw on, or an advancement on the throw? We'll see what the official scorer says. It is a single. It's a throwing error going to be charged to the right fielder, Jake Fraley. So the shoddy defense here coming up, that is what allows Polanco to get to second base. So that's going to put runners at second and third here. That's going to bring Cal Raleigh to the plate. And there is action now starting to brew in the Reds bullpen as Taylor Rogers is up and throwing. We've got a conference on the mound here. So Raleigh today is 0 for 1. He has struck out and walked in his 2 plate appearances. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Saying with the shoddy defense today exhibited by the Reds, Singer, who's now at 90 pitches, has probably thrown about at least 10 pitches more than he should have. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is looped, and it is going to get through Ellie De La Cruz into left field. That ball there was looped over towards the shortstop position. Cruz came in to try to backhand it. The ball got down. It got under his glove. We're going to have to see how the scorers are going to rule that one. I thought he was going to catch it on the pop fly. He started to come in. He had to avoid the runner who was going back to the base, and he whiffed on the ball. And that's going to bring a run across here as Rodriguez is going to score. Stopping at third is Polanco. We'll see what they rule that for Cal Raleigh. So if you're a Reds fan here, you're probably losing your mind. Official scoring is pending here. There's a fastball that swung on and lifted, fouled around Randy Arozarena. Count is 0-1. Arozarena has also walked and struck out today. He came around and scored a run. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 0-2 to Arozarena. Brady Singer, you got to feel hard done by here in this one. As the pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside, the count is 1-2. Lack of support from the defense. Still no update on the official ruling yet. And it is going to be ruled an error. So back-to-back plays with errors. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. Bat goes further than anything else. That was a pitch that Arizarani just threw the bat at. He goes down on strikes for the second out. So that's going to be error 6 charged to De La Cruz. So no RBI on the play for Cal Raleigh. That's going to put one gone here. It'll bring up Luke Raley to the plate. And that is going to be the end of the line for Brady Singer, as Raley is going to be coming to bat. Singer gets a pat on the back from Terry Francona. Looks like it's Taylor Rogers coming into the game. We're going to take just a little time out. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments, everybody. Lots of things happening here. Some of it good, some of it not so good. We'll try this Brady Singer again. I don't know why it didn't come up the first time. We'll try it again this time here as he is exiting the ball game. Your score, 3-2 now for the Mariners as we are in the top of the 5th inning. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you gonna throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Well, Brady Singer's day is done. It is all for him. And we have ourselves a pitching change. It is going to be a left-hander coming into the ball game. So it is going to be now a battle of the pens. It is going to be a Taylor Rogers making his 8th appearance already on the young season, working 5 1/3 innings. He's struck out 5. The 34-year-old, a free agent acquisition in the offseason by the Cincinnati Reds. The first pitch on the way. Fastball that misses inside. It is a pinch hitter as well. This is the part that drives me crazy. So you've got Luke Raley, who had homered in his last at bat. Now you've got Donovan Solano coming in. He is now the pinch hitter. So Solano took the first pitch for a ball, and he's taken the second one for a ball as well. A little too early in my books for a matchup change here, especially with the 3-2 lead. Solano waiting on the offering from the lefty, who kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Moving back, and underneath it is Fraley. He makes the catch, tagging at third and heading home. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's going to be offline. That is going to score Polanco with the 4th run of the game as he crosses. So a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Donovan Solano, but he is going to be retired for the second out of the inning. Holding at first base is Cal Raleigh. It's going to bring up the first baseman in Rowdy Tellez. Or is it? We may have a pinch hitter here as well. It looks like it is going to be Williamson. So Ben Williamson, who made his debut earlier this week, he is going to come on to pinch hit for Rowdy Tellez. Williamson in 2 games this season with the Mariners, hitting .286, no homers, and 1 run driven in. Batting from the right side here against Rogers with the runner at first and 2 gone here in the top of the 5th. 4-2, the Mariners have extended their lead. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. That's the other part here, especially when you get into the As part of the game, your matchups. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, down to second. And stealing second base is the catcher, Cal Rowley. That's going to be his third of the year. You don't expect him to run, but he got a good jump off the lefty, and he slides in safely. So the Mariners have another runner in scoring position here. Gotta say, I'm impressed with the way that Rowley moves. He moves pretty good for a big fella. There's a fastball that is swung on. This is lifted into deep right center field, moving back on it. And making the catch is the right fielder, Fraley, and that is going to do it here. But more damage done in the inning as the Mariners have taken a 4-2 lead, 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of only 1 hit. There were 2 errors, and there was a runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Half of this game is in the books. It is a 4-2 Mariner lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you guys for jumping in with us here today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll try Ellie. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 5th. It is a 2-2 ball game. We'll be right back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Blake Dunn, Jake Fraley, and Austin Wynns slated to come to bat against Emerson Hancock here in the 5th inning. If you would have told me before the outset here that Emerson Hancock would still be pitching and Brady Singer would be done for the night, I probably would have laughed, as that first pitch fastball is swung on and fouled away. Hancock certainly did not have a good outing in his season debut against the Detroit Tigers. And here today, and this one got off to a bit of a slow start. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count's 1-1. But tip your hat to Hancock for battling through, and I feel a little bit sorry there for Brady Singer not getting the defensive support. 2 errors on the board, and 2 probably should have been. As there's a fastball that misses inside, the count goes to 2-1. If Terry Francona has any hair left, has probably fallen out here today. Here comes the 2-1 pitch as the right-hander Hancock delivers. Fastball swung on, chopped foul past the bag at third base. Counts 2-2 to Blake Dunn. Dunn, Fraley, and Wynns the bottom third of the batting order here to face Hancock. But if you take it to another step, I don't know if Hancock's going to have a 6th inning, and I wonder if the Mariners would go to the pen here as the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung on, grounded softly over to the right side, fielded neatly by Moore, who throws to first. That is going to retire Dunn on a ground out 4-3. He's in the books for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the right fielder in Jake Fraley. The defensive change, Solano, who came in to hit for Luke Raley, he's gone into first base. Williamson came in to hit for the first baseman. Tellez has gone into right field. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, looped softly into left center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Fraley aboard with his first hit of the ball game. That is going to bring up the catcher in Austin Wynns. That's the 5th hit today recorded by the Reds, as Wynns is striding to the plate. So the runner at first is Fraley, one gone here. Hancock ready to go again as he works himself to the set and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down and away. Count is 1-0. At one stage, Hancock was 66% strikes. That strike rate has taken a tumble as the right-hander ready to deliver. As a fastball swung on, it is lifted into right center field. Coming over is Rodriguez. He's going to make the catch. That's going to retire Wins for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. It'll be the top of the order, and TJ Friedel coming to bat. So Friedel 0 for 2 today. He has popped to short, and he has flown to center. I don't like the afternoon baseball, although a little disappointed with the attendance in this one, especially the Mariners coming to town. Only come in one time. You'd think that might be a little bit more of a draw. There's a fastball that misses outside. Off to the races goes Fraley, and he's going to get gunned down. He's going to go into the books, caught stealing 2-6 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Reds in their half of the fifth. They had no runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There was no errors, and nobody left the board. Your scores were now through 5. It is the Reds trailing the Mariners 4-2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here. Our friend Gracie Lynn says, sorry for vanishing, but she's back, and that's what's important. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change for the Cincinnati Reds as they are turning it over to the bullpen yet again. It is going to be the right-hander Gibbo who is in the ball game. And the first pitch fastball is swung on and missed by Dylan Moore. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Ian Gibbo replacing Taylor Rogers, who came in and did his job. Fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 0-2. Just making our notes. Third pitcher used now by the Reds. As Gibbo is heading the count here now at no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander ready to go back to work. 6'3", 250 pounds. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly back up the middle, fielded by the second baseman. On the right side there, Gavin Lux, he throws to first, and the speed of Dylan Moore is going to be able to beat it out. We're going to see if they're going to take a look at that. Little confusion there as Dela Cruz was coming across the middle, but where Lux was fielded, Lux was standing just to the right of second base. They almost collided. And that is going to retire or should have retired Moore at first, but it didn't. So there's another one right there in the books. We've got for Cincinnati, got the 2 balls that dropped in foul territory. They've made 2 errors in the infield. That won't go into the books as an error, but it should. It's an infield single for Moore as they throw over to first base, and he dives back safely. So really today, so far, if the score line ends up holding up and if the Mariners win this game, it has been the Cincinnati Reds who actually had shot themselves in the foot. I don't know if the Mariners won it or as much as it's been gifted to them by Cincinnati. That's got to be a concern for Francona. There goes the runner down to second. The throw, it's in time. Oh, a nice throw there by Austin Wynns. He's able to get the runner, Dylan Moore. Caught stealing 2-6 is what it is. He's gone for the first out of the inning. Great throw there by the catcher. Couldn't ask for better. Right on the money. The tag down on the tricep. Applied there by Ellie Dela Cruz. First pitch was a ball to Masterboni. So 1 ball and no strikes. And there's a pitch that is a breaking ball that misses inside. And the count is now 2-0 to Masterboni. So 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander Gibbo rocking into the windup and delivering. Fastball misses down. The count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. It's a beautiful day in the Pacific Northwest as well. The weather very similar to what is there in Cincinnati, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 3-1. I should always qualify that. In most places in the Pacific Northwest, it's a beautiful day. You never know. In some spots, they might be getting rain. As the pitch is on the way, there is a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. And Masterboni is going to be aboard with a 1-out walk, and that'll bring up the shortstop and J.P. Crawford. Well, for Crawford today, he is officially 0 for 2. He had a deep fly ball to the warning track in center field his first time up to end the second inning. He flew out to left field to end the 4th. Now he bats here with a runner at first and 1 gone in the top half of inning number 6. Pitches on the way. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul. The count is 0-1. Crawford is seen as average drop below the Mendoza line. He's batting $196. Friend Gracie Lynn says, do you have any plans to catch any Whitecap games? No plans for that. It's a pretty busy schedule. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes even at 1-1 to Crawford. And she says, even better than Messi's Miami. Nope, none of those ones there. Yeah, it's kind of like the Major League of Major League Soccer. The ownership wants to sell the team. The coaches have been fired. There's a breaking ball inside. The count's 2-1. But they've never really seemed to have been able to get over that 17 to 20,000 fans a game mark. It's the apathetic support of this area. Here comes the 2 ball and 1 strike pitch. It's on its way. It's a fastball that swung on and missed, and the count now goes even to 2-2. Swung so hard, Crawford lost his helmet. I remember I had a player a number of years ago, a Panamanian player, former Panamanian international, and every time he'd swing the bat, it was like his helmet would pop off. His head would just fly in all directions. So here comes the 2-2 pitch, and instead they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is J.P. Crawford. Or I should say is Miles Masterboni. It's J.P. Crawford at the plate. Trying to do this one here today without my glasses on, and it's working so-so. I have to go and dig them out. Here comes the 2-2. Fastball swung on. Runner was off to the races. Grounded softly to Lux. He throws to first, and that's going to do it as Crawford's in the books for a ground out 4-3. It's going to advance Masterboni over to second. So they stay out of the double play, and that's going to bring the top of the order in Julio Rodriguez up to bat. The next Major League game will be in Detroit on Monday. It'll be the Padres and the Tigers. Get a chance to see that one, although I'm a little disappointed. They got some rain in the forecast. There's the breaking ball swung on. That's going to be lifted up and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Julio Rodriguez. So no balls and 1 strike. Rodriguez today is 1 for 3. He has singled and scored a run. He has raised his season average to 194. That's disappointing. They need a lot out of J-Rod. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into straightaway center field, moving back just in front of the warning track and making the catch is Friedel, and that is going to do it for J-Rod. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 6th. It is the Mariners 4 and the Reds 2. Lots of baseball left here, everybody. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in. Check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. That is Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game, as he has got all kinds of wild and wacky stuff on his channel. It is going to be TJ Friedel coming to bat. He is 0 for 2 in this one here today. He has popped to short and flown to center as he is coming to bat here. 4-6-0 for the Mariners, 2-5-2 for the Reds. And they have gone to the bullpen, have the Mariners. It is going to be Spire on the mound, the lefty. First pitch breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So this is Gabe Spire, who is on in relief, making his 9th appearance of the year. He has yet to allow an earned run in 7 2/3 innings of work. So Emerson Hancock's day is done, as the pitch is a fastball swung on, is grounded into right field past the diving glove of the first baseman Solano. So Spire is welcome to the ball game with a base hit. At this point, this is where it all becomes the wild card. Just on, do the pitchers have enough at the back end? I always find that this is where it gets interesting. How's the bullpen going to hold it? Are they not going to hold it? So Friedel aboard with a leadoff single. That's going to bring Santiago Espinal to the plate. This is where the game has really changed over the years. The pitch counts and how they use the pitchers. There's a fastball at the knees taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Espinal. So no balls and 1 strike. Gracie Lynn said she liked that last number. Yeah, we got a few different pieces. I've got to get up to date through all of our stuff, as there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. Try to do more of those little templates in between inning of the players as we take our time out. 1 ball and 1 strike here to the third baseman of the Reds. Gabe Spire leans in, gets the sign. He works himself set. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on, tapped slowly down the third base line, and the count is 1-2 to Espinal. Got a pretty good crowd in here today, as Those of you who have chosen to come in to listen, we appreciate you guys for being here. On a beautiful afternoon in Cincinnati, getaway game. Tomorrow, that game between the Cubs and the Diamondbacks, who we are going to be calling tomorrow, that game also a early ball game. As we're talking about the ball game, it is going to be Corbin Burns will go to the mound tomorrow for the Diamondbacks. He'll square off against Colin Ray, the former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk, who had spent some time with Milwaukee recently, also broke in with San Diego. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Count is 2-2 to Espinal. When you look at the numbers, you wouldn't believe that it would be Colin Ray who would have the better start to the season than Corbin Burns. But it's true. Diamondbacks are 11-7. Cubs are 12-9. Should be a fun one tomorrow from Wrigley. There's more action in the bullpen. Alexis Diaz and Graham Ashcraft up and throwing for the Reds. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Espinal. Peeking in at the scores from around Major League Baseball, 1-0 Pirates have a lead over the Nationals. That's in bottom of 7. 6-3 Diamondbacks over the Marlins. That is in the bottom of the 6th. Just underway in Chicago, the Southsiders trailing the Athletics 1-0. That's in the bottom of the 1st. Fastball swung on, lifted into right center field, drifting over to his left and making the catch is Julio Rodriguez. Retreating back to first will be Friedel, and so Espinal gone here for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the shortstop in Ellie De La Cruz. And if you're Cincinnati, I got to think that you got to start asking yourself, at what point in time you got to start thinking about moving De La Cruz to the outfield, much like O'Neill Cruz was moved to the outfield by the Pirates. Ellie De La Cruz is undoubtedly offensively as flashy a player, as entertaining a player to watch. But as far as the defensive side of things is concerned, he is a little bit erratic, and that was on display here with errors that he's made in the field today, as well as the almost near collision with him and Gavin Lux. So this is going to bring De La Cruz to the plate here with the runner at first and one gone. The left-handed reliever Spire kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. I have to say, I don't know if this is shaping up in favor of the Mariners. I know the Mariners have a 4-2 lead, but if I'm a Mariner fan, I think I'm biting my nails a little bit here. There is another pitch that's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Gracie Lynn wants to know if we have any salsa numbers. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count is 2-1. We'll have to do some digging. We'll do that maybe in the later part of the game when people want to get up and dance. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, as the lefty Spire kicks and fires. Breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Got to pitch to De La Cruz delicately here. One swing of the bat can tie the ball game up. But do you want to take your chance with Austin Hayes, who's already homered today? And also interesting that they brought Spire in a lefty, knowing that they got these right-handers coming up. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. De La Cruz is going to be aboard with a walk. It's going to advance Friedel over to second. That's going to bring up the designated hitter in Austin Hayes, and it's going to bring the manager Dan Wilson to the mound, and he has seen enough. He's calling for the right-hander. Maybe why now? Why not earlier? But we're going to have ourselves a pitching change, so hang tight, everybody. Mariners are going to the bullpen. Reds have runners at first and second with 1 out. And we'll get you that change when we come back in just a moment. Appreciate you for being here.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there, don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a pitching change, as it is going to be Colin Snyder coming on in relief. He is in his second season with the Mariners. He has worked in 6 ball games so far, working 7 1/3 innings. He's allowed 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 of which have been earned, pitching to a 3.68 earned run average. So he is coming on to face Austin Hayes, who, well, for Hayes today, he's got a homer in 2 trips. He has accounted for all of the Cincinnati runs, knocking in a pair. So Snyder, the right-hander, is just completing his tune-up tosses and will be ready to resume the action, as the Reds have something brewing. Frank Gracie Lynn says the second time this game that Marlins have been robbed of a go-ahead home run at the wall. Well, it sounds like it's time to get back in the gym. They got to do a few more arm curls. That'll help it get over the fence next time. So this brings Austin Hayes to the plate. As we said, he's 1 for 2 today, the 2-run shot in the first inning. He's got runner at second is Friedel, runner at first, Dela Cruz. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The home run that Hayes hit was a great piece of hitting. He stayed inside the ball, went the other way, hit it just shy of 400 feet. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Count runs even to 1-1. Bottom of the 6th inning, Reds have, I say the Reds, I've got it all inverted. It is a 4-2 lead for the Mariners at this point, as the pitcher Snyder does the spaghetti move that chases the runners back. Maybe it was a bit of a foreshadowing here, because the Reds are certainly threatening right now, looking to turn the tables. So here comes the 1-1 pitch on its way. It is a fastball, center cut for a call and strike, and the count is 1-2 to Hayes. Mariners are in a little bit of difficulty here. There is 2 aboard, 1 gone. The dangerous Hayes here at the plate. As we talked about before, the numbers so far this season for the Reds offensively, and they have a hitter-friendly ballpark at Great American Ballpark, have been less than impressive. In the starting lineup today, they had 3 players that were batting below 200. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2 on Hayes. I have to tip your hat to Emerson Hancock, who had a pretty good outing today. That's a shot in the arm that the Mariners could use, especially after that tragic outing he had against the Tigers. There's a breaking ball swung on, is grounded over to third. Stepping on the bag is the third baseman, Mastroboni. Fires to first, but it's not going to be in time to get Hayes. That's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to erase Friedel at third for the second out of the inning. Advancing to second is Dela Cruz. And a safe over at first is Austin Hayes. That is going to bring up the second baseman in Gavin Lux. Nice play there by Mastroboni to get to the bag and be able to get the lead runner. But I got to say, he really took a long time, it seemed, for him to get rid of the ball over to first base. And as I said, Hayes did a good job of hustling down the line. It's going to leave it up to Gavin Lux here, who on the day is 1 for 2. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses up and away for ball 1. Count is 1-0. Lux has raised his season average to 283. He was a off-season acquisition via trade with the Los Angeles Dodgers. 1-0 on the way. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. Probably a good thing that he's out of LA. He just, fresh start, new team. Lux certainly had his injury woes in Los Angeles. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. And somehow an opportunity to reboot himself in Cincinnati could be a big boon for the Reds. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander leans in, gets the sign, and he's ready to go. Here comes the pitch from Snyder. Kicks. Oh, he doesn't. He does the spaghetti move and chases De La Cruz back to second base. De La Cruz looks like he wants to get a good jump at third. Snyder works set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball just misses off the outside corner. Count goes to 2-2 on Lux. Two balls and 2 strikes. Lux waggling his bat. The right-hander working to the set. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded over to third. Mastrobuoni looks to second. Nobody there. Double pumps, then throws to first. And Lux is going to be out on a ground out 5-3. So some confusion in the middle infield. That is going to do it here. Lux gone for the third out of the inning. The Reds, they threaten, but they don't score. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. No errors and 2 left aboard. 2/3 of the game are now in the books. Your score is the Mariners 4 and the Reds 2. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 7th inning, and coming to bat for the Mariners will be Jorge Polanco, Cal Raleigh, and Randy Arozarena. There is going to be a pitching change here, as it's going to be Alexis Diaz coming on in relief. This is going to be the 4th pitcher used now by the Reds, as it looks like it is going to be turning into a full-on bullpen day the rest of the way. So Alexis Diaz on here in relief, the 6'2", 224-pound right-hander brother of Edwin Diaz of the New York Mets. Ready to deliver the first pitch as a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Polanco. On the season, it's only his 2nd game for Diaz. He's worked 2/3 of an inning. He's walked 2 and struck out 1. There's a fastball swung on it. It's lifted into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit, and it's going to get all the way to the wall. Polanco rounding first. He's digging, and he's going to cruise into second base with a stand-up double. So Polanco has got himself aboard. He is in scoring position right out of the gate, and that's going to bring up Cal Raleigh to the plate. Well, for Raleigh, he's officially 0 for 2. He has struck out and reached on an error. He's walked and stolen a base today. So he steps in here ready to face Diaz for the first time. As The right-hander Diaz works to the set, checks the runner, and delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field, but he's going to hook that one foul. Oh, boy, that was right in his wheelhouse. So no balls and 1 strike to Cal Raleigh. I was listening to Pedro Martinez on the MLB network the other day. He said something very, very interesting. He was talking about hitters who waggle the bat. And where they waggle the bat is often in the area of where their sweet spot. And he said he used to notice that. We've got time here, as it looks like it is the pitcher, Diaz. The umpires come out to talk to him, and it looks like they were having some problem with their communication, as the catcher, Austin Wins, is going back to the dugout. That's the one thing that drives me crazy. I see this. It seems like every other game that we watch, they got a problem with the communication piece. You got to take it out of the headset, whatever it is. Austin Wins isn't working. Diaz in particular here, I don't know if he's got on his glove side hand, I think he might have on his wrist, almost not a watch, but he's wearing sleeves. I wonder if it's a communication piece that he can type what he wants to the catcher. But Wins has got a timeout here as he's going back to get himself a new earpiece and a new headpiece so they can continue the communication. But I like technology in games, but I also think that technology is overkilled in certain spots, especially when I think of the NFL and the referees. They all come out decked out in all their electronics. Just got to ref the game, boys. Just got to be able to do that. It's not that hard. I'm not criticizing the referees, but more along the lines of the brain trust in these leagues. So no balls and 1 strike it is to Raleigh. Runner at second is Polanco as the right-hander delivers. There is a breaking ball that is swung on. It's popped up over into shallow left field, but it's going to slice and it's going to just get into the seats past the netting. Count is 0-2 to Cal Raleigh. So a new baseball issued to Alexis Diaz. He's ready to go back at it. It was funny. One of our kids last night, he wanted to go see if he could get a ball, and one of the teams obliged him and flipped him a ball. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on it, is popped up over on the left side of the infield, moving over underneath it, and there to make the catch is Candelario, and that's going to retire Raleigh. He's going to be in the books for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the left fielder and Randy Arozarena. Well, for Arozarena, he is officially 0 for 2. He has struck out twice, but he has walked and scored one of the Mariners' 4 runs. As the right-hander Diaz gets the sign from his catcher Wins. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-0 on Arozarena. Get a kick out of the technology and some of that stuff. There's a pitch that is delivered. Fastball misses upstairs. You got little league kids who go out and buy the oven mitt. I've seen some of the kids or the parents. I go, "Why'd you buy the oven mitt?" "Oh, and they got all the reasons." I go, "He can't slide head first." At the under 12 or 12 and under level, you can come back to bags head first, but you can't slide into bases head first. So why did you buy the oven mitt? Next thing you know, we're going to see the kids with the electronic gear on the field. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken on the inside corner for called strike. It's now 3-1 to Arozarena. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Got all the gear, got all the bling. End of the day, can you play? Fastball swung on. It's cute at the end of the bat. Foul over on the first base side. The count is 3-2 now to Arozarena. Diaz again leans in, gets the sign from his catcher Wins. Now delivers. Slow changeup that misses down and in. That's going to be ball 4. Arozarena is going to be aboard with a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second, and it's going to bring Donovan Solano to the plate. Well, for Solano, he came in to replace Luke Raley in the 5th inning. He pinch hit for him. He had a sacrifice fly, so he does not have an official at bat yet. But he has a RBI to his name. As the right-hander Diaz does the spaghetti move. They got the runner now hung up between 2nd and 3rd. Oh, boy. This is one ugly-looking rundown, but they're going to make the play there. It looks like it's going to go into the books. 5-4-6 on the putout as they pick off Jorge Polanco. He's gone for the 2nd out of the inning. And at least the base running on the back end, Randy Arozarena is going to make his way into second base. So they still have a runner in scoring position, but now there's 2 gone for the Mariners. Solano waiting on the first offering here from Diaz. There's the pitch. It is a breaking ball. Take it for a called strike. That is 0-1. I know it's a Cardinals sin. They say never make the 3rd out at 3rd in an inning. But you got Solano, you got others coming to the plate. There's a fastball swung on, grounded foul over on the third base side. You got chances to drive runs in. 2 cracks to get a run in, and now you've got only this crack here. So 2 strikes to Solano. Runner at second is Arozarena. 2 gone here in the top of the 7th. Right-hander Diaz getting his sign from Austin Wins. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. It's popped up down the right field line, giving chase over by the stands is the right fielder Fraley, but it's going to drift into the seats. And that is going to keep the count at 0-2 here to Solano. A young man from Covington, Kentucky is going to take that ball home with him. Nothing like going to the ball game and getting yourself a foul ball. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, lifted up in the infield here on the right side. Underneath it is Lux. He's there to make the catch, and that's going to do it. Diaz wiggles himself out of a jam. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 6.5. We'll be back in just a few. 4-2 it is for the Mariners.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Appreciate you there, Eric, and all your support of our channel. We'll be back in just a little bit, as it is a 4-2 Mariners lead. Welcome back, everybody. The pitching parade for the Mariners is about to continue. It is going to be Carlos Vargas coming on in relief. The right-hander is going to be taking over for Colin Snyder. 4th pitcher used now by the Mariners. So Vargas is just completing his tune-up tosses. Vargas has been productive for the Mariners this year. We saw him in some long relief early on in the season, as he had come in to relieve Emerson Hancock when Hancock was getting ripped apart in that first game of the season. He's 1-1, making his 9th appearance. He's worked 10 2/3 innings. He's allowed 12 hits, 4 runs, 3 of which have been earned. And he's got himself a 2.53 ERA. The first pitch is a fastball swung on, grounded softly over to second. Fielded neatly by Moore. He's going to throw out Candelario on a ground out 4-3. Candelario on the books for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder in Blake Dunn. Well, for Dunn, he's grounded out twice today, back to the pitcher, and has grounded to second. So Vargas, effective out of the pen, right out of the gate. Here's the pitch. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Vargas, right-hander working himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count runs even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander waiting on the offering here. Here comes the offering from Vargas. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. Count 2-1 on Dunn. I was thinking about the Cincinnati Reds earlier today and their roster, or their current roster. And looking at some of the injuries that they have had, every team faces some injuries. I'm thinking more along the lines of the offensive side. As that breaking ball misses down, it is now 3-1. Tyler Stevenson still out. He is considered to be their starting catcher. Christian Encarnacion on Strand, also on the 10-day injured list. Those are 2 on the offensive side. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4, and Dunn's going to get himself aboard with a 1-out walk. It's going to bring up the right fielder in Jake Fraley. And when you look at the pitchers on the 40-man, Julian Aguiar, he's on the 60-day DL. We won't see him for a while. Rhett Lauder on the 15-day injured list, as is Sam Moll. Sam Moll got quite a bit of action out of the pen last year. And Brandon Williamson on the 60-day as well. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted in the right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to get all the way to the wall. And rounding first and heading to second with the double is Fraley. Stopping at third is Blake Dunn. And now the Reds have got something brewing here. With Dunn the runner at third and Fraley the runner at second. It's going to bring up the catcher, Austin Wins. So Vargas has got himself in a little bit of a trouble here. And as Fraley doing some damage against his former team. That's his second hit on the ball game today. Well, it's slated to be Austin Wins, but it looks like we may have ourselves a pinch hitter here for Wins, as the Reds are going to pinch hit Matt McLean. And while that's happening, the pitching coach for the Mariners is out to the mound. So Wins' day is going to be done, as Matt McLean is coming in to pinch hit. One of the things, Matt McLean would be an ideal candidate for shortstop, as he has been playing some second base. But the problem with McLean, as I was mentioning about Ellie De La Cruz, thinking at what point do they move him to the outfield? McLean missed all last year with shoulder injury, pretty much all of last year. Well, in fact, all of last year. He didn't play at all in the regular season. So he is stepping to the plate, batting .206, and the first pitch is a breaking ball missing down and away for ball 1. McLean batting .206, 3 homers and 6 runs driven in so far in the early going. Only appeared in 10 games thus far. Pitch on the way. Fastball down and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. Reds franchise does like McLean. Originally a shortstop from UCLA. As the pitch on the way is a fastball. Oh, nice stop there by Cal Raleigh. That ball was in the left-handed batter's box, destined for the backstop. It's going to run the count now to 3-0 on the pinch hitter of the Reds. And Zenny says, where can I watch the Reds for no charge? I don't know. You're asking the wrong people here. We're doing the live English commentary. Here comes the pitch. Fastball. Maybe somebody in the chat can help you. That misses inside. That's going to load the bases. Maybe if you're in the Cincinnati area, you get down to your local bar. That could be a spot that could happen. Or if you're in the Pacific Northwest, sometimes in the restaurants, bars, they will show the games in Seattle. So bases are full with one gone here. It's going to bring up the top of the order in TJ Friedel. Friedel today is 1 for 3, single in 3 trips. As the right set now delivers, there's a fastball that misses down. Count is 1 ball and no strikes. So 1 ball and no strikes here to Friedel as the right-hander Vargas trying to wiggle his way out of a jam. Pitch on the way, fastball on the outside corner for called strike. The count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Vargas ready to go. The Mariners trying to work themselves out of the jam. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into right field, moving over to his left. Under it, making the catch is Williamson, tagging at third and heading home. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's not going to be in time. That's going to get the run in. Blake Dunn is going to come in and cash in the 3rd run of the game for the Reds. So a sacrifice fly off the bat of Friedel. He's gone for the 2nd out of the inning. Testing the arm of the right fielder, Williamson. The throw was a pretty good throw, but it was just not quite in time. The ball had taken a bounce to the foul territory side. Cal Raleigh had to get it and rip it across his body to apply the tag. It wasn't going to be in time to get the speedy Dunn at the plate. Also tagging on the play was Fraley. He moved to 3rd. That puts runners on the corners with 2 gone, and it brings Santiago Espinal to the plate. And for Espinal, who is 0 for 3 today, has seen his average dip to 250 on the campaign. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Vargas. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's 1-0. Mariners clinging to a 4-3 lead here with 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. That's one of the things certainly this past year is where have all the I don't want to say contracts, but certainly there's been a problem with the television in the United States in terms of who's picking up the games. There were some groups that have gone bankrupt. There's a fastball that just misses outside. Count is 3-0 to Espinal. Some have local contracts, some don't. Some have online. It's really a strange situation. And so I know folks in the Seattle area asking where they can watch their games online, or not online, but on TV. There's a fastball that misses up. It's 4 straight balls to Espinal. He's going to be aboard with a walk. That's going to load the bases, and it's going to bring Ellie De La Cruz to the plate. Yeah, it looks like we are going to have a pitching change here as the manager, Dan Wilson, has seen enough. He's calling for a right-hander. So Vargas's day is going to be done. Ellie De La Cruz coming to the plate with the bases juiced. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We'll see who they are calling for and who they're going to be bringing into the ball game. But we appreciate you guys for hanging with us here today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We have ourselves a pitching change. It is the Mariners and the Reds. We'll be back in just a moment. We're glad you're with us, everybody. It is a 4-3 lead for the Mariners over the Reds. We are in the bottom half of inning number 7. It is Jake Fraley is the runner at 3rd. The runner at 2nd is Matt McLean. The runner at 1st is Santiago Espinal. Ellie De La Cruz is slated to come to bat, and the Mariners have made a pitching change as it is going to be Trent Thornton who is coming on in relief, the right-hander, the 31-year-old who stands at 6 foot 190. Is going to be making his 10th appearance of the season for the Mariners. He's going to be the 5th pitcher used by manager Dan Wilson today. So Trent Thornton on in relief. And for Thornton, he's worked 8 2/3 innings. He's allowed 8 hits. He's given up 4 runs. All of them have been earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 8. So this is a high leverage position for Thornton to come into. See if he can do the job. Said about an inning or so ago, did ever a 4-2 lead for the Mariners ever look so unsafe, as they had gone to the bullpen after 5 innings of Emerson Hancock, who actually pitched fairly well today. He started off a little bit wonky, but once he got through the first inning, he had settled down. There was a first pitch breaking ball delivered to De La Cruz, taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. De La Cruz, his career with the bases loaded, he's a .417 hitter with a couple of grand slams. And that's in 24 at-bats. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes even at 1-1. Reds trail it 4-3 here. They've got 1 run on the board in the inning. And De La Cruz is the 7th batter to come to bat here against Mariners pitching. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. There's now 1 ball and 2 strikes to De La Cruz. Thornton leans in, gets the sign from his catcher, Cal Raleigh. Here comes the pitch. Fastball, center cut. Take it for a called 3rd strike. Oh, I don't know what Ellie De La Cruz was looking for, but you're not going to get anything better than that. He's down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Reds. They squander an opportunity to get more than just the 1. They had 1 run in the inning on the benefit of only 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left aboard. Your score as we move to the top of the 8th inning. It is the Mariners 4, the Reds 3. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Coming to bat, it'll be Williamson, Moore, and Masterboni when we return. Top of the 8th is just around the corner. We'll be back in just a couple moments. It is the Mariners 4, Reds 3. We'll return after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is yet another pitching change in the pitching parade here as the Cincinnati Reds are going to their bullpen. Matt McLean is going to stay in the game. He is going to go in to second base. Gavin Lux is going to move over to third. That is how it is going to operate here for the Reds in this one. Jose Trevino is the new catcher, and the new pitcher is Tony Santillan. The first pitch fastball is missed up and in for ball 1. Santillan is making his 11th appearance of the season. He's worked 10 2/3 innings. He's got a 0.84 earned run average as the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 1-1 to Ben Williamson. Williamson today making his first at bat as came on to replace or came in for Rowdy Tellez. As the right-hander works himself to the set. Actually, this is his second at bat. He did fly out to right field his first time. And he swings through that pitch, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dylan Moore and Miles Masterboni to follow here for the Mariners. They've been very productive in the bottom part of the batting order as they have reached base 4 out of 9 times. So not automatic outs in today's affair. Here's the fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mariners Reds today. It's going to be Cubs and Diamondbacks tomorrow. So if you're in the neighborhood, be sure to stop by and check it out. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is pop foul into the seats over on the first base side. Count remains at 1-2. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. As the right-hander rocks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ben Williamson. Right-hander Diaz works to the motion, and there's a delivery. It's a fastball swung on. This is going to be slapped through the 4-hole into right field. Williamson's going to get himself a base hit. So he has been a bit of a spark plug for the Mariners since making his debut a couple of games ago. So Williamson is aboard, and that is going to bring Dylan Moore to the plate. And speaking of which, Dylan Moore has had a pretty good afternoon today. He's had a couple of hits in his 3 trips. He has a stolen base. He's also been caught stealing. As the pitch from Santlin on the way is a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Runner Williamson gets his lead. He can run a little bit, but hasn't got any stolen bases in his early going. There's a fastball swung on its line right to the glove of Gavin Lux. Oh, Moore turned on that one. Lux right there. Good job of base running there by Williamson to freeze on the liner. Lux makes the grab for the first out of the inning. Oh, Dylan Moore is going to say, what more can I do? He's in the books for the first out. That's going to bring up the third baseman and Miles Mastrobuoni. Well, for Mastrobuoni, he's been aboard a couple of times today. He has struck out and he has walked twice. Batting from the left side here against the right-hander Santlin as the pitch is ready to come. Kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. It's popped up over on the third base side. Giving chase is Lux, as is Trevino and the pitcher, and that's going to drift into the seats. And so we've got a count of no balls and 1 strike to Mastrobuoni. It got over the netting and it landed in like the second row, first or second row there. I wonder sometimes if the netting didn't exist, how many more catches might take place over by the section where the fans are. So no balls and 1 strike as the right-hander holds set. There comes the pitch. On its way, it's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. Was, I think, in a game last week in Houston, Mike Trout got the treatment that Mookie Betts had, where the fan tried to rip the ball out of his glove. Here's the 1-1 pitch. A fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes now to 1-2. You got some fans that just want to be part of the action, where they're best served with a hot dog in one hand and a beer in the other and staying out of the way. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on a chop foul over by the first base coach's box, and the count is going to remain at 1-2 to Mastrobuoni. Miles Mastrobuoni batting here with the runner at first. And 1 gone. Mastrobuoni's bounced around a little bit. He started his career in Tampa Bay, and he spent a couple of years with the Cubs. Swings at a fastball and rips that one foul down the right field line. The count remains at 1-2. It's his 133rd game in the big leagues. Not much pop in the stick in pretty much a utility type of player. Did have 13 stolen bases back in the 2023 season with the Chicago Cubs. That was where he had made his most appearances. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2. Appeared in 61 games that year, had 133 at-bats, mainly used for defensive purposes. Here's the pitch. Fastball waved at. And that is going to keep the count. Actually, he waves at it and fouls it away. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. He did a good piece of hitting there just to get the bat on the ball. Pitch was outside, and he just waved at it, got a piece of it. Here's the 2-2. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down. It's now 3-2. This game here at one point had a pretty good clip to it, and then all things considered, for the Mariners in this one here, they've only gone down in order one time. That was in the 3rd inning. On the flip side for the Reds, they've gone down 3 times, one time unconventionally. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Williamson. They almost had him there. He was caught leaning the wrong way. If the throw from Diaz was better over to first base, or from Santillan, I should say, over to first base, they might have got him. But his was to the infield side of the bag. Again, they throw to first base, and again diving back in time is Williamson. So now he's out of throwovers. So keep your eye on Mastrobuoni here if he is, or on, I should say, on Williamson here if he's going to be off to the races. Here's the pitch from Santillan. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside. That's going to be ball 4. That's the 3rd walk today issued to Mastrobuoni. That always hurts when you're walking the 8-hole hitter 3 times in this one here, not throwing enough strikes. You're setting yourself up for potential disaster. It's going to bring up to the plate J.P. Crawford. And if I look at the Reds pitching today, this is just off of our score sheet quickly. It would appear that is 6 walks issued today by the Reds pitchers. And there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to J.P. Crawford. And Jose Trevino has seen enough. He's called time. He wants to go out and talk to his pitcher. Can't say that I don't blame him. Got a lot to talk about out there. Well, that conference is over, and it's 1 ball and no strikes here to Crawford. Runner at second is Williamson. Runner at first is Mastrobuoni. Mariners looking to add to their 4-3 lead here. Right-hander Santillan holds at the belt. Here comes the pitch. It's on its way. It's a fastball swung on and ripped into right field. This ball could be trouble. It gets down. It's going to be a base hit. That's going to get 1 run in. Ball gets fired in. Sliding into second with a double is Crawford. As Williamson comes across the plate, he has given the Mariners that 2-run cushion yet again. Off the double here from the bat of J.P. Crawford. So he picks himself up an RBI. The not so powerful, normally J.P. Crawford put a sting into that one there. That puts runners at second and third with 1 gone, and it brings the top of the order in Julio Rodriguez to the plate. Takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Rodriguez today has 1 hit and 4 trips. He's also scored a run. As the right-hander is Santillan holds to the belt. And now the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. Count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Infield is halfway for the Reds. I'm not sure why they wouldn't just come right all in. As that pitch misses up and into Julio Rodriguez, there's only 1 gone here in the inning. The Mariners are looking to add to the lead. They smell blood. 5-3 they have it here in the top of the 8th inning. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count runs even to 2-2 on Julio Rodriguez. Santillan wastes no time, as do most of the Reds pitchers in this one. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is popped up on the infield. Coming in underneath it is Dela Cruz. Santillan, the pitcher, he was looking like he was going to want to maybe take that one. And the way that Dela Cruz has kind of played shortstop today, I can see why. But Dela Cruz is going to make that play. He's going to be gone for the second out of the inning is Rodriguez. That's going to leave it up to the designated hitter and Jorge Polanco. You hate to say white knuckle time on pop-ups in the infield, but that's what it looked like. And it looks like that is going to be the end of the line here for Santillan. Terry Francona on his way to the mound. He's going to make a pitching change. We're going to be back here in just a moment. Aaron Skyer says, tell me if Rodriguez gets another hit today or another hit this season. We'll be back in just a couple of moments, everybody. We appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you gonna throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice tall cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Brent Suter coming to the hill here. The left-hander is making his 6th appearance of the year for the Reds. He's worked 6 1/3 innings. He's allowed 4 hits, a couple of runs. All have been earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 3, pitching to a .284 earned run average. He was a longtime pitcher out of the Milwaukee Brewer bullpen. He had spent 7 years with the Brew Crew. 2023, he had made his way to Colorado for a tour. And he is in his 2nd year here with the Cincinnati Ball Club. The 35-year-old is an Ivy Leaguer, as he is a former graduate of Harvard. As the lefty holds himself to the set, now he kicks and he delivers. It's a first pitch. This is up and away. It was at 76 miles an hour. It was a changeup, so they say. It is Mitch Garver who is coming in to hit here for Jorge Polanco. So Garver at the plate takes a fastball for a called strike. The count is 1-1. So Garver to hit for Polanco. That's a bit of a head scratcher. That is the DH position here. Garver, the right-handed hitter, waiting, and there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. It's actually more of a changeup than anything else. 75, although I have to say Brent Suter doesn't throw particularly hard. I would think that his fastballs would be running north of 80. 2-1 on the way. There's a fastball at 86 taken for a called strike. The count, check that, not a called strike. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. I jumped ahead of the game there. So 3 balls and 1 strike it is to Garver. I got to make sure that the umpire goes up with the right hand. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Not deep enough. Moving over underneath it and making the catch is the left fielder Dunn. That is going to retire Garver for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Mariners reestablished the 2-run lead. They got the 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There were no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom half of inning number 8. It'll be the heart of the order for the Reds. Hayes, Lux, and Candelario slated to come to bat. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 8. Mariners are enjoying a 5-3 lead, but it is a bit of a nail-biter time as their bullpen is going to be tested. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for jumping in with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is yet another pitching change. It is going to be Edward Buzzardo, who is coming on in relief. The 29-year-old right-hander is going to be making his 10th appearance for the Mariners. He's worked 10 1/3 innings. He's allowed 9 hits, 4 runs. All have been earned. He has walked 3 and struck out 9. And the first pitch is a breaking ball delivered to Austin Hayes for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Buzzardo is going to be the 6th pitcher used by Dan Wilson today. As the right-hander ready to go again. He kicks and he fires. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. And the count now quickly goes to 0-2 on Austin Hayes. Reds got to try to get some instant runs here. They're starting to run out of outs as they have fallen behind by 2 runs again. As the pitch to Hayes is a fastball that just misses down. It was close. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. And again, the right-hander Buzzardo working himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. But that is going to be hauled in by Rodriguez. He's there for the out. So Julio Rodriguez puts out Hayes for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the third baseman in Gavin Lux. Well, Lux started the day at second base. And when Matt McLean had come into pinch hit for Austin Wins, he had slid over to third base. As the right-hander Buzzardo delivers a first pitch fastball to get for a called strike. I think this is the best chance to get to the Mariners right here and now, because if you got to face Munoz in the 9th, it's as good as a lock. Breaking ball that catches the outside corner. It's now 0-2 to Lux. I say Buzzardo's come in throwing strikes. 6 pitches, 5 of them for strikes so far for the Mariner right-hander. Again, the right-hander gets his sign, working himself to the belt. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be just looped over the head of the third baseman, Master Boney, into left field. So Gavin Lux is aboard with a 1-out single. That's slated to bring up the first baseman in Jmar Candelario. Well, for Candelario, he is 0 for 3 today. He has struck out twice and grounded back to the pitcher. He is going to be facing the right-hander Buzzardo here for the first time, and the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Tying run at the plate here. Reds trailing 5-3 here to the Mariners as the right-hander ready to deliver again. Kicks and fires another breaking ball that misses down. Count goes to 2-0. Slated to be on deck is Blake Dunn. Should Candelario reach safely with 1 gone here and doesn't spin himself into a double play? Here comes the 2-0 offering. Right-hander now ready to deliver. Kicks and fires. Fastball misses up and in. It's going to be ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes to Candelario. And at this point in the game, we are getting into the deep water. As we said, there's not much time remaining here for the Reds to do some damage. They're running out of outs. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 3-1. So Candelaria, interesting, gets a green light at 3-0. So 3 balls and 1 strike it is here as the right-hander Bazardo ready to go back to work. Here comes the pitch. 3-1 on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. Candelaria tried to sell it, but the right hand of the home plate umpire, Alex McKay, brings him back. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. As we said, a reminder, tomorrow back on the airways for the Diamondbacks and the Cubs. There's a fastball that misses inside, almost hits Candelaria. That's going to be ball 4. So now the Reds have got something brewing here in the bottom half of the 8th. They got runners at first and second with 1 gone, and it's going to bring Blake Dunn to the plate. And for Dunn, officially 0, he's also drawn a walk. As the right-hander holds himself to the set, here comes the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Dunn. Right-hander working himself to the belt. And here comes the pitch. That's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike as the right-hander again works himself into the set position. Checks the runner at second and now kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dunn today, as we said, he is 0 for 2 with that walk and scored a run. He scored the 3rd run in that last inning as he was brought home on a sacrifice fly off the bat at TJ Friedel. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and it is knifed foul down the first base line. The count is 1-2. It remains. And it looks like Dunn's going to have to go get himself a new piece of lumber. As that one there has seen its final battle, that bat. Now he's got to walk over and take his time. He's got to get a little bit of pine tar. So Bazardo, who started the inning off, retiring Austin Hayes, has given up a single and has walked Candelario. He's got himself in a little bit of trouble here. As we mentioned, we got to figure that Munoz is going to be coming in for that last inning. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. On its way. Fastball misses outside. Count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Bazardo holds to the set. He checks the runner at second. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down and away. Now the count goes full to Dunn. So the Reds are doing all their damage with this, or all the setup with the bottom part of the order. It's been 4 of the 9 times they've come to bat, they've been able to get on base. They're going to see that they keep it going. There's a fastball that misses outside, and Dunn's going to get himself a walk. So a single and back-to-back walks here. I've got the Reds brewing here with something in the bottom half of the 8th. It's going to bring Jake Fraley to the plate. And for Fraley today, former Mariner, he has been swinging a hot bat. He's got a single, he's got a double, and he struck out looking. And the pitching coach for the Mariners out to the mound here to offer some words of wisdom to Bazardo. So bases are full of Reds here as they're threatening in the 8th. And the pitching coach Woodworth on his way back to the dugout as Jake Fraley comes up to the plate. I'm sure there would be nothing more that he would like to do is to sink his former team. Reds fans are in attendance, are on their feet as it is bases loaded, one gone here in the 8th inning. So here we go, ready for the resume to play. Fraley in his career is batting nearly 500 with the bases loaded. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's ripped foul just past the first base dugout, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Adoring fan in the stands with a sign, "I love you, Jake Fraley." There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble, and this ball is going to be gone. A home run for Fraley, and that is going to put the Reds up in front with a 7-5 lead here. A grand slam in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the former Mariner does it to his former team with a blast on an 0-1 pitch. And the Reds fans that are in attendance are in a frenzy. Unbelievable. It's his 3rd hit of the ball game, and that one goes for 4 runs. Grand slam home run off the bat of Fraley. 7-5 now for the Reds. And as I said before, it's been the bottom 3 in the batting order that have either set the table or done some damage here for the Reds today. First pitch, breaking ball delivered to Matt McLean, misses down for a ball. Count is 1-0. McLean drew a walk in his first plate appearance after coming on for Austin Wins. So if you're a Mariner fan, you probably just threw up in your mouth. If you're a Reds fan, you pumped a fist. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-1. Our friend Scott says, "Oh, yeah, let's go Reds." Well, welcome to the stream there, Scott. Appreciate you for jumping in. Fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line, and the count now goes to 1-2 on McLean. So the Reds, for their defensive follies early in the game, butchering a couple of balls, dropping balls, or letting balls fall in foul territory, been able to survive. It looks like there is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Coming over underneath it is Williamson. He's there to make the catch, and that's going to retire McLean for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and it's going to bring the top of the order in TJ Friedel to the plate. Well, for Friedel, he's 1 for 3 in this one here today. He's got a single and 3 trips. He's also got a sacrifice and an RBI. As the right-hander Bizzardo delivers a breaking ball that just misses outside. Count is 1-0. 7-5. Reds have the lead here. At the bottom of the 8th inning, the grand slam off the bat of Jake Fraley has done the damage. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, that's taken for a called strike, and the count runs even to 1-1. In some ways, it is, how do I say, describes the Mariners' season. Fastball swung on, lifted into right field, and that one is going to drop in front of Williamson. It's going to be a single here for Friedel. So he is aboard. And slated to come to bat is Jose Trevino. Well, Trevino, this is his first at bat of the ball game today, as he is replacing Santiago Espinal in the batting order. Having .294 on the season as the right-handed hitting catcher of the Reds, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. He's got 1 homer and 5 runs driven in on the season. He has played some pretty good defense since coming over from the New York Yankees. Pitch on the way, breaking ball taken for a ball. Count is 1-1. Runner at first is Friedel. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 8th. 7-5. Reds have the lead. As the right-hander again works himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded softly to short. Crawford fields it. Throws to first, and that is going to do it, as Trevino is going to be gone. Ground out 6-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. But there's been damage, and lots of it. Here in the 8th inning, a grand slam home run off the bat of Jake Fraley. 4 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. Your score, as we are now through 8, it is the Reds 7, the Mariners 5. Stick around, everybody. The top of the 9th is right around the corner. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. Our friend Diane says, "Way to go, Reds." We appreciate everybody for jumping in here with us on this one today. We'll be right back after this little timeout.
Thank you for that introduction, Freddie. Hey guys, Steve coming back at you today, and every day is opening day on my channel. I open everything from hot sauce to beer to deviled eggs to cans of soup to ravioli to sport card packs like you wouldn't believe. I open blasters of stuff. I open regular boxes of stuff. Speaking of hot sauce, I open hot sauce, which is often gifted to me from the community. I have it all. I open up Star Wars by the tons, including the Family Guy Star Wars. I have a bunch of wrestling that I do open, and I do non-sport cards like crazy. As you can see, we have it all. I even open Marvel, tons and tons of Marvel cards. But you never know, on my channel, you just may have a little trouble with tribbles, too. Remember, opening day, every day. Thank you, Freddie. See you in Funny Pages, guys.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the Mariners. Cal Raleigh, Randy Arozarena, and Donovan Solano, as they are going to be coming to bat here. It is going to be Emilio Pagan, who is replacing Brent Suter. So I hate to tell everybody this, but me being a neutral, I'm worried. I'm biting my nails about Emilio Pagan closing it out. But we'll have to see what happens here. He's going to have his chance. Noelwe Marte is in the ball game. He is coming in to play third base, as it is a defensive substitution for Gavin Lux. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0 to Cal Raleigh. Raleigh today officially 0 for 3 at the plate. He has struck out. He's reached on an error. He has popped to third. He's drawn a walk. And he has stolen a base. So the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul over on the first base side. The count now goes to 1-1 on Raleigh. 7 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Reds. 5-9-0 for the Mariners, as the right-hander works himself to the set. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. This ball is going to be trouble. And this ball is going to be gone. A home run for Cal Raleigh. He had a couple last night, and now he's got another one today. That's going to give him 8 on the year. It's a solo shot here to lead off the 9th inning. And the Mariners are now within 1 run of the Reds. It is now a 7-6 ball game. So Cal Raleigh with a solo shot, and that is going to bring up Randy Arozarena to the plate. So as I mentioned earlier here, the Reds, if you are relying on Emilio Pagan, you got to be biting your nails. Our friend Gracie Lynn is in the chat here with us, and I haven't been keeping up. My apologies, as there is a fastball swung on and grounded foul, and the count is 0-1. She said she's really enjoyed listening the last little bit. Scott says, dang, Reds killer there. Yeah, I've seen Pagan pitch before. And I don't know if I really would. I'm not talking about with the Reds. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's belted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble. And this ball's gone. Back-to-back home runs here in the top of the 9th inning. And the Mariners have tied the game at 7. Unbelievable. So they giveth away, they taketh away. Home run here by Arozarena. That's his 4th of the season as the Mariners go back-to-back here in inning number 9. That is going to bring up the first baseman in Donovan Solano. So who would have thought about this? This is unreal. As I said at the outset, I hate to forecast. Never want to predict ill will on people, especially when we're neutrals on the channel here. But I was biting my nails for the Reds fans when Emilio Pagan took to the hill. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Solano. 33-year-old has bounced around a little bit. He's been with a number of teams. I like his mechanics. I like what he does. Just, I don't know if I like his Pitch selection. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into deep right field, but coming in now and making the catch is the right fielder Fraley. So Solano's gone for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the right fielder Ben Williamson. So the ball game here looked like it was going to be a fairly tame getaway game. It's now got some excitement here. 7-7. Here's the first pitch to Williamson. Fastball taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1. Williamson entered the game for Rowdy Tellez back in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 2. He scored a run. He's also flown to right. As the right-hander Pagan kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and fouled straight back. Count now goes to 0-2 on Williamson. Craig says, do you think the Reds will pull through on the series? Well, I don't know what you got in your bullpen left. It's nail-biting time for sure. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung through and missed. And Williamson is down on strikes. He's gone for the second out of the inning. He's going to leave it all up to Dylan Moore. Scott says we made him nervous, thought we were going to go back to back to back. Well, the way that Fraley started, he was moving back on the ball, and then he ended up coming in. It looked like the wind had the infield. And the first pitch offered to Moore is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Dylan Moore, 2 for 4 today. He's got a couple of singles. He's got a stolen base, and he's been caught stealing once. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball that swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, it is going to be De La Cruz, Hayes, and Noelvi Marte slated to come to bat for the Reds. So not an easy inning by any stretch for the Mariners. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Right-hander delivers. Breaking ball, waved out and missed, and that is going to do it. But too little, too late. As the Mariners go back-to-back to start the inning, Cal Raleigh and Randy Arozarena solo shots. 2 runs in the inning, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. Your game is 7-7 as the Reds and the Mariners are all knotted up. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the right-hander Casey Legumina coming into the ball game to replace Edward Bizardo. And the first pitch is on its way to Ellie De La Cruz, and it misses up and away for ball 1. De La Cruz today is 2 for 3. He's got a couple of singles. He's also struck out and drawn a walk. As the pitch from Laguna is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Legumina on the season is making his second appearance. He has worked one inning, has one strikeout, not allowed a run. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ellie De La Cruz. This is the part of the order that the Reds can make something happen. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. That's the second time that De La Cruz has stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by. He's in the books for out number 1, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Austin Hayes. Our friend Gracie Lynn pointed out an inning or so ago that the addition of Austin Hayes into the lineup has been a good thing for the Reds. He certainly has. He's come out and really produced. He has a 2-run homer here today, and he swings at the first pitch, and he drives it into deep right field, moving back to the edge of the warning track, but Williamson's going to haul that one in, and that is going to retire Hayes for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here for the Reds. It's going to leave it all up to Noelvi Marte. So we are getting our first look at Noelvi Marte as he had come in to replace Gavin Lux at third base. First pitch to Marte is a fastball taken for a called strike. And as you may or may not remember, Marte was once upon a time in the Mariners organization. He was part of the trade that brought Luis Castillo to the Mariners. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul. Count goes to 0-2 on Marte. I remember seeing that he was ready to play linebacker in the upcoming NFL season. He was just that jacked. So no balls and 2 strikes it is as the right-hander works himself into the windup. He kicks and delivers. A fastball swung on and it's fouled straight back. Count remains at 0-2 to Marte. Marte batting 167 this year, nothing across the slash line yet. We're here in the bottom of the 9th inning, all locked at 7s. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marte batting from the right side, waggling the bat. Legumina delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses outside. The count goes to 2-1. Little surprised that Munoz wasn't the one that the Mariners were going to go to. I didn't do my tracking of the bullpen usage over the last couple of days, but I would have thought they might have went to their closer, especially with this part of the lineup. Legumina has been pretty good. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that just misses down. Runs the count full now to Marte. Waiting on deck is Jamar Candelario. Should Noelvi Marte reach base, he would be next. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the left side, fielded on the backhand by Crawford. He throws it on 2 bounces to first, and that's going to nail Marte. It's going to go as a ground out 6-3, and that is going to do it here in the 9th. Although just hang tight for a second. Terry Francona wants to have a look at this. We're going to take a peek at it ourselves. And I don't think Terry has to worry about it. He's going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And Francona says, hang up the phone. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board as the Reds go in order here in inning number 9. We'll be back as we look ahead. We'll be Mastroboni, Crawford, and Rodriguez to come to bat for the Mariners. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are skipping along to the top of the 10th inning as it is a 7-7 ball game between the Mariners and the Reds. It's been a seesaw affair. The Reds drew first blood in the first inning, and then it was the Mariners with a 2-run homer off the bat of Austin Hayes. Mariners tied it up in the fourth with a 2-run shot of their own off the bat of Luke Raley. And then the Mariners added 2 more in the fifth to go up 4-2. Then the Reds battled back with one of their own in the seventh, make it 4-3. And then the Mariners got one back in the eighth to make it 5-3. And then a grand slam in the bottom half of the eighth inning off the bat of Jake Fraley had given the Reds a 7-5 lead, and we thought that was going to be it. Well, not so fast. Back-to-back homers by Raleigh and Arozarena in the top of the ninth have tied the ball game up. So we are ready to go again. Graham Ashcraft on the mound as he has come in to replace McGann. Ball is bunted, and the pitcher Ashcraft turned into a soccer player as he kicked that one around. Everybody's going to be safe. We're going to see how they're going to rule that one. The runner, Dylan Moore, had started at second base as the ghost runner. And so the bunt there is going to allow Miles Mastroboni to reach first. That's going to put runners at the corners. It looks like there it's going to be a sacrifice bunt awarded to Mastroboni, but it is going to be an error on the pitcher. That's going to be the third error today made by the Reds. That's going to bring J.P. Crawford to the plate. And I don't know about you, but I'd probably be looking to do the same thing again. Maybe drag it down the first baseline. If your pitcher is going to feel that way. And he is. He squared the bunt and he's popped it up. And this is behind home plate, but it is going to get into the seats. You do it once, you got to keep going to the well. And that's what the Mariners had in mind. But J.P. Crawford, who's usually can handle the bat pretty good, almost popped himself into an out. So no balls and 1 strike to Crawford. I'd go back and do it again if I was the Mariners. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on. It is chopped foul over on the first base side. And the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Graham Ashcraft making his 8th appearance of the year. He's got an ERA of 0 in 8 2/3 innings pitched. It's the 8th pitcher used today now by the Cincinnati Reds. So the bullpen here has been on display since the 5th inning for both of these clubs. So no balls and 2 strikes to Crawford as the right-hander holds set. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded to the left side, fielded on the backhand by De La Cruz, and he's got a play to nowhere. That's going to bring the run in. It's going to be an RBI single here off the bat of Crawford. So he's got himself a single. He's got himself an RBI. Stopping at second is Mastroboni. Coming in to take the lead here with the 8th run is Dylan Moore. And now it's going to bring the top of the order in Julio Rodriguez to the plate. So 8-7 it is now the scoreline for the Mariners. For those of you who are new here, we don't put our ticker updates until the end of the half inning, but yeah, it is 8-7. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. Rodriguez, 1 for 5 today. He has singled and scored a run. He's flown to left, he's flown to center, he's popped to short, and he's struck out in his other trips. As Ashcraft kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Ashcraft gets himself a new baseball. He's rubbing it up. He's ready to go back to work. Just as a reminder, tomorrow we'll be back on the airwaves again. If you're into the Cubs and the Diamondbacks, come on back and join us, as we will be on the airwaves for that. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Count goes to 1-2 on Julio Rodriguez. Cosmo says, is it the top of the 10th? Yes, it is. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander again kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the left side, fielded Marte. They go to second for one, back to first. It's not in time. It's going to be a fielder's choice. It is going to erase Crawford 5-4 at second. He's going to be gone for the first out of the inning. Masterboni is safe at first. Julio Rodriguez safe on the trail end as well. So that's going to put Masterboni at third and Rodriguez at first with one gone. And that is going to bring up a designated hitter, Mitch Garver. Garver came on in the 8th inning to pinch hit for Jorge Polanco. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He has flown to left field in his only at bat. As the right-hander works himself to the set, here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Garver. Garver batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Ashcraft. And then Ashcraft throws it over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Rodriguez. So 1 ball and no strikes. Got to keep your eye on Rodriguez. I think they could probably put him in motion. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count goes to 2-0. Runner at third, Masterboni. He can run a little bit. So it's not automatic if you throw it down to second that the runner is not going to move anywhere. Got to be very, very careful. Here comes the pitch. 2-0 on the way. And there is a breaking ball swung on. The runner was on the move. He's going to have to retreat to first base. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Garver. Bonus baseball from Cincinnati as we are in extra innings. It is a 8-7 lead for the Mariners. It was an RBI, a single off, infield single off the bat of J.P. Crawford that has brought home the ghost runner Dylan Moore. There's a breaking ball down, and it is going to be a stolen base for Rodriguez. It's going to run the count to 3-1 on Garver. J-Rod safe at second. So 3 balls and 1 strike as the right-hander works himself back to the belt. And now they kick and deliver. That's a breaking ball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4, and Garver is going to walk to load the bases. And the Mariners still have something brewing, and it's going to bring up the big dumper in Cal Raleigh. And for Raleigh today, he is 1 for 4 officially. He's got a home run that was in the 9th inning when he cut the lead to 1. He's also reached on an error. He struck out, popped to third, and walked. He does have a stolen base today. And we're going to have time here as the pitching coach is on his way to the mound as they're going to discuss this situation. Our friend Gracie Lynn says the Reds just can't catch a break. Their pitching is good when they don't score. When they do score, the pitching decides it's going to take the day off. Well, I got to tell you, Brady Singer, a little bit hard done by in his start today. Brady Singer went 4 2/3. I have to double check that if he made it 4 2/3 or not. But Brady Singer, he did go 4 2/3 innings, but it was the 2 errors behind him in the field, the 2 foul balls that ended up dropping that could have been outs, probably added an extra 10 to 15 pitches to his pitch count. So they took him out of the ball game, whereas they make those plays, he probably is going into the 6th inning, and it shortens the game up on the back end. But when you have to take your starter, who was off to a pretty good start this year, out in the 4th inning, doesn't leave you a lot of room for error. There's a breaking ball that is waved out and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Raleigh. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away just past the first base dugout. Count goes to 0-2 on Raleigh. Again, the right-hander Ashcraft ready to go, but it has been pretty much a group effort of averageness from the Reds bullpen. But not like the Mariners have been a whole lot better, certainly serving up the grand slam in the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, waved at and missed, and Raleigh's in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That is going to leave it up to the left fielder, Randy Arozarena. And I have to tell you, if the Mariners only come away with one run in the inning, they're going to be kicking themselves as well. They've had the bases loaded. You got Raleigh and Arozarena coming to the sticks. Even with Garver at bat, getting a chance to knock in a pair. There's a fastball that misses up to Arozarena. Count as 1-0. Arozarena on the day is officially 1 for 3. He's got the home run. He struck out twice and walked twice. As Ashcraft ready to deliver, he kicks and fires a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Again, the right-hander works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander ready to go again as he works to the set. And here comes the pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner. Count goes to 2-2 on Arozarena. Ashcraft trying to wiggle his way out of this jam. Bases juiced. 2 gone. 2-2 to Arozarena. The pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on and tapped foul past the bag at third base. Count reigns at 2-2. So the interesting part is, where are the Mariners going to use in their 10th? They haven't flashed the bullpen, so are we going to see Munoz? Are we going to see somebody else? Here comes the 2-2 offering as the right-hander kicks and fires. Breaking ball, check swing fouled over on the first base side. The count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Again, waggling the bat, waiting on the offering from the right-hander as Ashcraft holds to the set. Now he delivers. Fastball just misses outside. Oh, boy. It's going to run the count to 3-2. Terry Francona not happy with that, and I could understand why. It's been a bit of a challenging zone here today for both of these ball clubs. That pitch there was as good as you're going to get. Well, now they're going to have the runners in motion here as it's 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. Grounded up the middle into center field for a base hit. That's going to get 2 runs in. Master Boney's going to come around to score. That is going to be a double for Arozarena as 2 runs have crossed the plate. And that is going to increase the score line to 10-7. Ball there rolled over almost by Arozarena, but how far De La Cruz was playing into the 6 hole, he had no chance to be able to get there. So runners are at second and third here. And so for the Reds fans, you got to feel hard done by. And for the Mariner fans, well, maybe you caught a break finally. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball waved at and missed by Donovan Solano. Count is quickly 0-1. Yeah, certainly the Mariner fans might look at it in the mirror and say, hey, we finally got a break here. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-1. 10-7 is the score. 3 errors in the ball game, but you might as well add a couple more on because of the misplayed balls. There's a ground ball to short, booted by De La Cruz. He throws to first. It's not going to be in time. 3 errors, make that number 4. It's going to go in the books as an E6. I don't need the score to tell me that. In across the plate is going to be Garver. That's going to be 11-7. Stopping at third is Arizarani. He tried to backhand it. It's just way too casual from Ellie De La Cruz. Didn't get into his legs, just kind of thought he was going to get there, never came through the ball. And then when he went to throw to first, it ended up in the dirt. It was a good play there by Candelario just to stop the ball. But Ellie De La Cruz just disintegrating defensively today. And here's the pitch to Ben Williamson. That's a breaking ball that misses outside for ball one. Williamson, the eighth batter to come to bat here in the inning. 11-7, Mariners have the lead. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded softly to De La Cruz. He gets it and wisely, without making a throw, takes it himself to erase Solano at second base on a fielder's choice for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Mariners, but damage done and lots of it as they get 4 back here in the 10th. And it is your score. The Seattle Mariners 11, the Cincinnati Reds 7 in the inning, 4 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was an error and there was a pair of runners left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 10th inning, 11-7 for the Mariners. Stick around, everybody. Who knows? We might be going to the 11th inning in a bit if things keep going the way they are. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be going to the bottom of the 10th inning. We'll be back after this musical timeout. It is 11-7 Mariners over the Reds. Welcome back, everybody. It is Andres Munoz who is on in relief. And the first pitch he delivered to Jmar Candelario was a slider that was swung on and missed. He delivers another one that's down in the dirt. And the third base umpire went up with the right hand saying that, yes, he did go around. The ghost runner at second base is Noelvi Marte. As Candelario here 0 for 3 today. He has walked and scored a run. And he is in the hole here at 0-2. Munoz kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. This is Munoz's 10th appearance of the year as Cal Raleigh, who had blocked that ball, is moving a bit slowly here. 10th appearance of the year for Munoz. He has worked 9 innings on the season, yet to allow an earned run, or yet to allow a run, period. He has walked 4 and struck out 12. It is not a save opportunity, as they do have a 4-run lead here. He has saved 7 ball games in 7 attempts. He's been very, very good this year. I have to say, this is one of the better moves that the Mariners have made. It originally was with the San Diego organization. And since coming over to Seattle, he has been absolutely fantastic. Well, Cal Raleigh is going to dust himself off as we have this little stoppage. He says he's good to go. As he's moving a little bit gingerly. Dan Wilson, the manager, of course, knows all about that. The former catcher himself. Probably happy that he doesn't have to get behind the plate to block pitches from Munoz. I don't know how many Mariners pitchers could bring it up at 100 plus back in Dan Wilson's day, other than maybe the big unit. But outside of that, you only saw the unit once every fifth day. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball down in the dirt. The count goes to 2-2 on Candelario. Gracie Lynn says she's got to get going. Well, we appreciate you for being here. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the D-backs and the Cubs. We'll find out if the Reds are going to come back. But always appreciate you stopping in. Here comes the pitch from Munoz. Fastball swung on and fouled off into the feet of Candelario. That's going to hurt. So 2 balls and 2 strikes is to Jamer. So the Reds' first baseman is going to walk that one off. Now he gets back into the box, ready to go again. As Munoz gets his sign, here comes the pitch. On its way, fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down. But the appeal to the third base umpire, and they say that is going to retire Candelario. He's going to be gone for the first out. So that is going to run a fastball inside here. We're just taking a look at other things. We've got a fastball inside to Blake Dunn. Count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Again, the offering coming. Here comes the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. And there's a ground ball hit over to first. It is fielded neatly by the first baseman Solano. He's going to win the race to the bag. It's going to go down as a ground out to 3 for the second out of the inning. And so 2 in the books, and that is going to bring up the right fielder Jake Fraley. So Fraley coming to bat. He's had himself a great day today for the Reds. He's got himself a single, a double. He hit the grand slam in the 8th to put the Reds up in front. You have a conference on the mound, do the Mariners here. So 3 for 4 today for Fraley against his old ball club. He has raised his average up to 239, if my eyes are telling me correctly. So Fraley is coming to bat. The Reds are down to their final out. As we mentioned here, they are, unfortunately, you gotta feel for the Reds in this one if you're a Cincinnati fan. Probably shell-shocked might be the word. There's a breaking ball that is swung through and missed, and the count is 0-1. But as I said, the Mariners probably getting out of town here with a win they shouldn't have had. Here comes the 0-1 on the way. Fastball misses outside. It's now 1-1 to Fraley. Once the game's done, we'll wrap it up here for you. We'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll call it a day, and then we'll be back tomorrow for the Cubs and the Diamondbacks. So hopefully you guys can join us for that one. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, lifted into right center field. Coming in hard is Rodriguez. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it as the Mariners, in a seesaw roller coaster affair, are going to knock off the Reds 11-7. Your final score in 10 innings. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board here for the Reds in their bottom half of the inning. Again, 11-7 the final for the Mariners. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We'll wrap this one up for you, give you the out-of-town stuff. We'll call it a day. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never.
Welcome back, everybody. Your final score here, 11-7, as the Reds take one on the chin to the Mariners. A real seesaw affair in Cincinnati for this one. Just taking a brief look at the out-of-town scoreboard, there were some other games today that were going on, and they are finals as well. Pirates shut out the Nationals 1-0, 1-5-0 for the Pirates, 0-5-0 for the Nats. The win goes to Heaney. He goes to 1-1. Losses to Williams. Drops to 1-2. Santana, the save for the Pirates, his second of the year. Diamondbacks on getaway day. They get away with a victory over the Marlins. A 6-4 win. Eduardo Rodriguez gets the win for the Diamondbacks. He goes to 1-2. Cabrera takes the loss for the Marlins. He's 0-1. AJ Puck gets the save. That is his fourth. The other game that is underway right now, or there's two other games underway. The White Sox are trailing the Athletics at home 5-0. 5-8-0 for the Athletics, 0-3-1 for the Chi Sox. And the other game that is in the top of the first, just underway, it is the Giants and the Phillies locked at zeros. Well, just to wrap it up here for you today, and again, we really appreciate everybody who has jumped in with us today. Reds got it going in the bottom half of the first inning, a 2-run homer off the bat of Austin Hayes. Got things working for them. Mariners responded in the fourth with a 2-run homer off the bat of Luke Raley. That even the score at 2-2. Mariners added 2 more runs in the fifth. It was a single by Julio Rodriguez, a single off the bat of Jorge Polanco. And then there were a couple of errors. An error by the right fielder after a error by the shortstop. Error by the right fielder allowed the runner Polanco to get into second base. That put runners at second and third. Up stepped Cal Raleigh. It was an error by the shortstop Dela Cruz that allowed the first run to score. And then with 1 out, a sacrifice fly off the bat of Donovan Solano brought home another run, and that made the scoreline 4-2 for the Mariners. The Reds got one back in the seventh with 1 out. It was a walk to Blake Dunn, a double by Jake Fraley. And after a walk to Matt McLean loaded the bases, TJ Friedel had a sacrifice fly to bring home another run that cut the lead to 4-3. But the Mariners right back at it in the eighth inning. Leadoff single by Ben Williamson. With 1 out, there was a walk to Miles Mastroboni, and then a G.P. Crawford single brought home Williamson to increase the lead to 5-3. But in the bottom of the eighth inning, the Reds flexed their muscles with 1 out, a single by Gavin Lux, then a walk to Candelario, a walk to Blake Dunn. That set the table. With nowhere to put Jake Fraley, he deposited the ball in the right field seats. And that made the scoreline at the time 7-5 for the Reds. And we thought, oh, well, here we go. Reds are going to win this one. But Mariners had other things to say. Leadoff home run by Cal Raleigh made the score 7-6. That was followed by Randy Arozarena. He tied the game at 7, and that's where we stood going into the top of the 10th inning, and then it was all Mariners. Dylan Moore was the ghost runner at second on a sacrifice bunt by Mastroboni that was booted by the pitcher. That put runners on the corners. And J.P. Crawford hit a ground ball to the 6 hole where there was nobody, and it ended up that now they had runners at first and second. Crawford knocks in the run, and they've got a run on the board to make the scoreline at that time 8-7. Then they had a fielder's choice by Julio Rodriguez, brought in another run. And after a walk to Mitch Garver, up stepped Randy Arozarena with a 2-run double, increasing the scoreline to 11-7. And that is how this game ended. Mariners with the victory. Reds unfortunately take the loss. With the win, the Mariners go to 10-9. Reds drop to 9-10. Our friend Jermaine says, I'm betting against the Reds from now on. Well, you can't do it the whole year. They're not that bad. The Reds are actually a pretty decent ball club when they're healthy and they got everybody going, but they're not in a good patch after today. Once again, everybody, we appreciate you guys for being here. Thanks for listening in. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Hopefully, you guys can make it. It will be the Diamondbacks and the Cubs. I think it's the only game in town in the afternoon. Hopefully, you could be there. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you again soon.